Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Keysha, clear, spilling tea, no fear, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lives right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. Yeah. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Stretch words like
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Make sure you subscribe to the Lakeysha Keysha channel.
What's up, guys? What is everybody doing? So we have Bishop Eli who's going to join us shortly. Now, y'all know that I'm not really a late evening sort of a person. This is, real close to my bedtime. But of course, when people say that, this time is more better for them. So that's why we are here. So this evening, what I do need you guys to do as you come into the video, make sure you are liking the video. As I explained before, when you like the video, it helps the video to circulate through YouTube's algorithm. And because we are definitely bringing awareness to this foul situation that happened to Carmelo Anthony, the more times you like, well, you can only like the video one time. So I don't know why I'm saying the more times you like it, but liking the video makes it flow through the algorithm. So make sure when you come in that one of the first things that you do is like the video, because as I stated, it's going to help, the video circulate through the YouTube algorithm. Now, if you guys want your questions answered, the best thing for you to do is send a super chat. And the reason why it's important to send a super chat, because as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, the comments come in really fast and you don't know which one to actually pick. But when you super chat your question, what it does is it highlights your question. So therefore it's easy to see. Okay. So that's why if you have a question that you want us to see, make sure you just go ahead and super chat it. Now, if you want to support the channel, there's other ways you can support the channel. First of all, liking the video. That's the number one free way to support the channel. Subscribing to the channel, free way to support the channel. Sharing the video, also a free way to support the channel. Now, if you don't want to super chat a question, because maybe you don't have a question, you can also support the channel by cash apping at Lakeysha Keysha. That's another way that you can support the channel. As always, you don't have to support. You're supporting the channel by watching this video this evening. So we're going to get into it. Just waiting on the bishop. But as you guys probably have saw, I actually contacted the bishop a few days ago, but it was really hard to get in contact with him. And finally, I said, let me just call him back again. But then when I finally got him back on the phone, he had already prepared to go on another show. Okay. So I said, okay, I'll be watching that. But then we had planned to do this before he had actually went on the first, well, I'm sorry. I had called him before he had went on the other podcast, but I had left him a text message, and I just figured, okay, he will follow up. And then if I was like, let me just get back with him. So maybe if I would have was following up a little bit more, he probably would have came sooner. But then when I did reach out to him, he was like, oh yeah. So I don't even think he had even paid attention to the text messages, but we do have him this evening. He will be joining us shortly. So we're just going to give him a few minutes. But while we wait on him, we're going to get into something here. So just give me a second. Give me a second. And for those of you who may not know, Bishop Eli is the pastor for the Anthony family. Now, in terms of, some of y'all probably don't know what a bishop is. If you're not sure who a bishop is essentially someone that has a little bit more experience than a regular pastor. All right, give me a second because it looks like he's trying to get on. Let me help him because all you got to do is click. Give me a second. Let me call him for a second. I think he's having some problems getting into the link. Oh, he's here. I see him. Bishop, there you are. I saw your message. It said that you were in, but it threw me off because I have a video of you in the back, and I was like, that looked just like. I said, that ain't him. That's that video that I got. But I'm so glad to have you. I'm so glad to have you. I was explaining to them that I had originally texted you. You remember I had texted you, and then I had waited a few days, and I said, well, let me just call him back. Because I was like thinking that I text you, and I said, well, he's busy. He'll just get back to me when he can. And so let me just call him. Then when I called you were going on to the other show. But at any rate, we are glad to have you because as I had stated to you when I had spoke to you on the phone, my mission here is different because typically I don't talk about the same thing over and over again, but I kind of felt like I needed to. And partially because I saw this as, and I've watched your videos and I heard you said it. I saw this as somebody who made a mistake. This is not a bad young adult. He's not a bad person. What Carmelo is exactly who I teach my sons to be. So when I see people making him out to be an animal, it really makes me upset, but it really makes me understand exactly how the world sees our Black boys. And that's why I've been diligent to kind of keep talking about this because I don't know if it's a disconnect on different cultures and how they see us, or if they just want to see us as animals. But to me, it's very clear that this is not a thug. You know what I mean? Like his mannerisms. He says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Now, my kids are good kids. They don't say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. You see what I'm saying? They don't say that. So this is a different kind of kid.
But I can say this, that I thank God that you have the ability to recognize that because a person make a mistake, you don't write them off. You don't label them. And one thing I'll teach people, when people label you, it's a system to control you. And if I can make you believe that you everything that I label you, then I can control you. And so what you're saying is so true. And the sad part about it is that when your own kind, let me say one more time, that label you what people that that has a hate. You can call it. The Bible said when you hate a brother without a cause, you are a murderer. These are real murder when you hate somebody without a cause. And everybody that claim to be Christian, woman of God, ain't a Christian. We got to stop that because they use Jesus' name. That don't mean anything. People use Jesus' name to deceive people. And if you thinking that they are righteous, you're not paying attention. The Bible said they are wolves in white clothes. They're chained themselves into an angel of light. And so we have to be careful when we listen to people who don't have compassion or understanding. And so it's the intent of all things that identify you. Even Jesus said, come boldly to the throne of grace and find grace in the time of need. We have a high priest that cannot be touched with our infirmity. And so he don't look at our weakness. He look at our intent. And we know anybody that got common sense, anybody that's fair, anyone that's truthful, you can see that something don't add up with this young man. Something is not lining up. I know what a thug is. A thug, a gangster most gangsters ain't no straight A student. Let's be honest, because they too busy in the street. Most gangsters ain't on no 2 jobs. They're on the block hustling. You know what I'm saying? Or they trying to rob somebody. And so, but it amazed me when blacks, young men, find themselves in a situation. We want to put them in a thug category. We want to scratch them off. And then you have people who try to compare him with some black male that trying to walk a thug life. They not even thugs either. They think they is. And gangsters. And so we want to put them in that crowd and not knowing and searching out something wrong. But watch this here. Let's be truthful. Let's look at the root of the whole issue. Let's look at the root. You can't never look at what a person done without getting the root of it, you know, because the root caused the effect. And so here's a young man, everybody know, sitting on a tent. And first of all, you don't own the bench, no way. You don't own the bleachers. You may own the tent, but you don't own the bleach. And I don't think they mark your tent off and say, this is only for y'all, you know. You just set your tent there. Okay. And let's look at it's raining, it's a storm. Let's look at all those things. Let's display a fact. Maybe this young kid made a decision to get up on the tent. He could be one of the past times, seeing a friend, and you know that nobody's running track right now because either it was a storm or they saying it's going to be a storm or they just come out of a storm. However you look at it, storm affect a lot of decisions that took place that day. So how is it that you can say this young man intent, he went there for trouble, he didn't even know it was going to rain. Y'all play too much. He didn't know that they didn't have a tent. He didn't know all those things. And matter of fact, he didn't know some kid was going to come up to him and say, hey man, we need you to get it from our tent. If you don't, I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna move you myself. He did not plan. So when people say he had a weapon or whatever he used to defend himself, they're trying to make it look like and put in your mind that he went to school, he got up in the morning, put a weapon in the bag, saying, I'm going to kill me somebody today. I'm going to be a murderer today. Y'all, I'm so sick of fake folks. Watch that. And so they're trying to make it look like, if I can put in your head, so let me first address him. Let's look at the whole case. When the first came out, the first thing they went to the news, they went to social media, they dressed 2 young men as good Christian. Dad is a Christian family, good family. They made it look like some black kid that took this superstar football player life without a cause. He just took his life. He just a gangster. And now everybody that see it in the world, you already done judged, you already done made up your mind because they use the word murder. When you use the word murder, not manslaughter, not accident to kill somebody, not that he could have stuck himself, fell on nothing. We ain't looking at none of that. We ain't looking at no possibility. Only thing I'm trying to put in your head that he murdered. And when I use that word murder, you already gonna look at him like, And watch this here. But people like you with common sense, you don't jump to with everything that look good or sound. You don't just take the picture and run with it. You go looking at, hold up, how did they get that pink over there? Why is that white down there? What the black doing? You examine the situation. But some people can't think for themselves because they let news, they let social media, and they let
because I want them to see this. You know, these are pictures that we somehow missed. And when you say that the narrative was painted, it was painted on me as well. Because when they said that he did it, I assumed he did it because that's what they told us. So when I watched the trial, I will not watch it, but when I followed it because there was no cameras in there, I was following it just to see what had happened. But as I began to watch these different these, I said, "Oh, these folks lied. Like they didn't tell us the truth." And now I start to begin to think, "Oh, okay." They wanted the parents to be quiet. They did this gag order because it was for them to do this smear campaign. Because then you're quiet. You see what I'm saying?
They control the whole trial. They control everything. And they outthink their family because they don't know. They never been in this situation. If you look at Lakeysha, watch this. If you look at everything that happened, let's go from day one. From the beginning, the judge already controlled everything. He already had laid out. He wants this to get out. He wants that to get out. Because they already knew we cannot allow this young man get away. We got to make sure we cross our T's, dot our I's. Because if we don't, it's a possibility the truth can leak out. It's a possibility people can start questioning the real truth and not just taking on what they want people to hear. Now watch this here. Something you just said. Watch this here. When I first heard it, we believe everything the news say. Come on, let's be honest. Because it was on news, it got to be true. It's on news. News be biased. If you look at the people, who gave the news, watch this here. I'm just gonna be honest. And I love everybody. If you look at the Caucasian folk that do news, most majority of them, you got a couple of Uncle Tom dudes that don't know no better, can't think for themselves, and majority of them, they only dress a murder. They dress he was under tent that they belong, like he took some. They try to make it look like he took a tent. They try to make it look like he just want to say this. I'm gonna stay here. I'll take this tent. Right. If they can put it in your mind that he was wrong from being under the tent, then everything else you try to wash away. Yes. It don't matter who tent it was. Let's get to it. It don't matter, but we'll get to that. Some people say it do matter. I'm gonna tell you why it don't matter. Because if you was willing to get up in somebody's face and argue with them or threat them just for under the tent, it shows that you talking about teach your kids how to respect when somebody tell you to get from. No. I don't teach my kid that, because let me tell you why. I teach them always use wisdom, but don't make nobody belittle you to the point to where they'll cause you more harm to your mental state because somebody done told you to get in the rain, other kids around. And see, people don't understand. Some ego is good, some of them ain't, because when you start belittling other kids try you. Other kids want to pick on you. I've been bullied before. And I don't teach my kid. I tell my little boy, when you go to school, don't fight, tell the teacher. I tell him that. His mama said, no, somebody put their hands on you, better fight them back. That was, that's her law. My law is, regardless of what you tell a teacher, you never fight. And one time I did that, and my little boy, another boy, beat him up real bad, bust his eye and lip. I said, how you get this? He said, Daddy, you told me not to fight and I was going to get in trouble. I said, oh, Lord. And his mama, man, see what you did? I said, yeah, but maybe he could have. He said, but Daddy, he wouldn't let me get by. He trapped me in the bathroom. And I said, oh, my God. Now my law changed. Now I'm mad because now he in a situation. His belief system is, Daddy said, don't fight. I'm going to get a whooping. So there's got to be some balance in truth. Right. Most people, if we be honest, most people Let's talk about natural folk. I'm not talking about people that claim to be Christian.
Right.
Majority Caucasian folks, let's be honest, and blacks too. Some blacks, not all of them, some blacks would take Carmelo's side because he's black.
Right.
But a lot of whites gonna take Austin's side because he's white. That's the natural man. Watch this. So some of them, majority of them, didn't even give them the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because they don't like truth. Here's the truth. If Austin would have went and used Christian principle, he would have said, hey, guy, you know, they don't want you under the tent. I know it's rain. Can you please, where it won't be no problem. And he didn't go that way. Nah, y'all stop playing. They even said it was some back and forth. He watch this. Then if he was a Christian, after he told him twice, he would have went and got a coach. A Christian boy would have said, let me go get some authority. A Christian boy, I'm talking about a Christian boy. And my son, and I'm teaching you to be a Christian boy. I'm going to tell you, don't never threaten nobody, and you don't never get in nobody's face. You go get some authority. You don't take it on and say, I'm being a good Christian. I'm going to cuss you out. Then if you don't move, I'm going to make you get out. Watch this. Good Christian boy. Let's be honest. Good Christian boy. And not only that, let's weigh it out like this here. You didn't tell him one time, 2 times, 3 times. When you start telling people more than 2 or 3 times, it causes an escalation. I'm talking about something elevating you to make you ready to go and get more aggressive. Hey, man, you better, I'm gonna show. Now other words come. Now you have to prove to him your ego, your pride. Don't tell me that my brother just didn't want no trouble. Told him, y'all know this game. Come on, let's be real, man. I don't care who said it. Them kids is kids. This is in 2026, and they're not talking like, "Hey, buddy, can you please move?" It's none of that no more. Everybody tough now.
He told Carmelo he was gonna whoop him and all kind of stuff. You didn't just kept telling him.
But the truth of people, two people are not going to say that, Lakeysha. They're not going to say that he said that. You know what they're going to say? They're going to dress like he was just doing standing up, doing what the coach told him to do. He's just a standing guy.
And all type of stuff.
He done told him.
No, you ain't.
He done told him. I'm going to prove why. I like facts. Let me tell you why I know he did. I like facts. They say you wasn't there. Let's look at facts. His brother testified on news, but they didn't use him in the court, but they used him on news. And this is how they messed up. His brother testified that Austin took his bag. Watch it there. Watch it there. But Austin made him a statement. Somebody else said, Austin said, we're in Frisco. It ain't nothing in that bag. Should I be a lawyer real quick? It ain't nothing in that bag. Now, in his mind, he's going to snatch the bag because he think it could be a weapon in there. If he think, watch out for to get to that. If he think it's a weapon in there, here where self-defense come in at. He snatched the bag, keep him from hurting him that's taking the bag. Say it was a gun in the bag. Say it was this, and he get to the bag before Carmelo did, and he take it and use the weapon on him. Here's the self-defense is Carmelo having to get what he need because he was scared of this guy, and he knew that this guy was coming towards him. Watch this here. Because why? He had to come up on some stairs or he had to climb up. He's coming up to him. If anybody coming up in your space, they didn't come to talk to you. They didn't come to play patty cake, none of that. They come to fulfill what they say they was going to do. And fulfilling what he said he was going to do, he knew Carmelo know the only way he can get him from where he trying to get him from, he had to put his hand on. That's why he said, don't put hands on me. He wasn't saying it because he was trying to cause you some problem with him. He didn't want no problem. Let me prove it to you, sister, why he didn't want no problem. Because he sat down. He stayed sitting down. If he wanted some problem, he could have stand up
Right.
And we could have said it, excuse me, I just got to be in reality. Can I act a little bit? I'm just saying, can I go in my own imagination? White boy, come on, show me. You're a white boy. Come, he gonna stand up. No. He sat down because he really didn't want no trouble. Right. He was trying to sell it to him and saying, okay, don't touch me. Act like he got something, or if you do got something. A killer don't try to sell you nothing. A murderer don't try to pretend. He's letting him know because he was hoping that he didn't put his hand on. He was hoping that he don't come in this space where he feared for his life or fear for whatever he think he's going to do to him. And then what people say right here. Well, why he didn't fight? Why he wasn't a man and just fight it out? Even in boxing, they don't let heavyweight fight lightweight. You know why? It's because he can kill him with his hand. Y'all not hearing me. Enough force can cause you to go brain. Enough force can cause. That's why they say you got to make your weight. Right. Why they do that? It's because through experience, people done got killed with their hand. Watch this. And folks might get mad at me when I say this here. I don't think stand your ground law or whatever y'all call it, I don't think it was designed for a black man. I'm sorry, I don't think it was designed. I think it was designed for whoever had authority. And 9 out of 10, most people in office that make law is Caucasian folk. Let's be honest. That if they go out somewhere and they have a problem with a man or maybe a black man or whoever that is more aggressive, or they feel like have the benefit of hurting them, they can take their life or they can stand up and do something to them. Why is it? Let's think about it. Let's be honest. Why is it that we can say that a young man that was running from a store, 14 years old, and somebody run him down and shoot him, we can find him not guilty? What's that? We don't have no problem. You stand up for right, then where's the voice at for the young man that was 14 years old that got killed, if you for what's right? Watch this. And so I waited out. I said, now, God, something ain't right about this. It don't make no difference. It was 4 boys or 1 boy. We do know it was 2 brothers there. Let's stop playing. You think I'm going to get into it with you and my brother there and I ain't going to get in it? Or if you get the best of my brother, I'm going to get in it. Watch this. Let's stop playing and let's be real. And everybody that's playing and everybody that's ignorant, just like people who are going to say why he didn't fight him, just fist fight, why he brought a force like that, and why he just, you can't use that type of force when it come down to defending yourself. How you going to tell me how to defend myself? Make some sense. I'm not a fighter. Out of fear, what's there? You standing over me. Look, let's think about it, sweetie. Think about it. He's sitting down.
No, I know. That's how I knew. That's how I knew that kid is not a fighter, because if you come to me and you stand up, I'm standing up.
I'm standing up. I'm finna get in your face. But he wasn't smart. Let me tell you, Karmelo was not smart. Let me tell you why. Because Karmelo could have not. It could have been him. He might not got a stuck on him. I'm not saying we don't care about a lie, but it could have been him. Let me tell you why. Because he didn't use wisdom. He sat down and he allowed the bullet, he allowed Austin to stand over him. Watch this. And come up to him. And while you sitting down, you do not have a good defense mechanism sitting down. But when you stand up, they tell you, even in boxing, you stand with 1 foot up and 1 foot back. Why? It's a good stand the way you can defend yourself. Watch that. He's sitting down. He can push him over. He can grab him in the headlock. He can do anything. Why? Because he have the advantage over him. If he didn't have a weapon, watch it here. Oh, Lord. It could have been, he could have got him. He could have beat him up. He could have really got him because he already was over him. The fight already, watch this, was already, watch this. This gonna make you think. In boxing, the referee put one on one side and one on the other side. Then he tell them both come. If they got in a ring and you sitting down and the one y'all finna box, and he hit you while you down, you might not have a chance to get up because he's standing over you. Watch this here. All I'm saying to people that's looking at this broadcast, I want people to really think. I want you to be honest. And I thank God for you. Let me tell you why. Because you know how many criticism you know how they're gonna try to lie on you? They're gonna try to say you black and you that's going cause it. No, we not. No, we love God. That ain't why we doing it. I'm gonna tell you why we doing it. We want you to weigh out the facts. Was it justice? Let me tell you why it wasn't no justice in it. It's because you got 12 people, juries, 12. You don't think they intention not allow a black to get on there? If anybody think in their right mind that this was not set up for this young man to get railroad, something wrong with you. You talking about justice. Reason why you don't care about the trial, because they done put in your mind he's a murderer. Right. If a baby rape was on trial, nobody care who's on trial because you mad that he done raped a baby.
Right.
You're not gonna solve. But in reality, even a baby rapers still have to have a fair trial. Watch this here. But because our heart is turned against this kid, you're not gonna weigh out the facts. Watch this here. If they had 2 blacks on the jury, maybe the black people would say, well, if some black folks on there, they even felt like, this kid is a murderer. Yeah. But they didn't want one. You know why? Because somebody that's real, even in the white jury, somebody, the peers, they knew, but they couldn't go against whoever was up in there running everything. You know, they got one that say, hey, my vote is this. You know how they do it. And so here's the thing. It wasn't fair from the foundation. Here's the problem I have. If that's flipping, we got to flip everything. We got to look at it on the other side. Say that there was a white kid, and he was Karmelo Anthony, and a black kid was Austin, and Austin killed Karmelo. Watch this here, and we get an all-black jury. Oh man, all-black jury. Listen, we wouldn't have got no farther than that. You know why? They would have been turned down, the courtroom, everything. They would have been marching and said, no, this ain't going to turn out right. He ain't got no chance because he killed a black kid and everybody on the jury is black. Come on. If that's the truth, if you know what I'm saying is a valid fact, why you won't stand up for what's right? Let me tell you why. Here's the problem that we have. We don't think he got a fair trial. That's first of all. And another thing, how can you tell somebody how to defend themselves under fear? Come on, somebody. How? What's this? Then you made it look like he was fleeing to get away. Let me tell you something. I watch kids get away from the police. I promise you, they know how to jump fences. They know how to go here. Can he run track? He could have got away. He wasn't trying. He trying to get away just in case them other boys trying to get at him. And he trying to get to some authority and say, hey, I done. When somebody said, well, you alleged did to somebody. He said, no, I done it. He said that because he might have felt like he done it. He said, I done it. You know why? He was being honest. He was not trying to hide it. He felt like he did it out of, watch up, not bragging. He was being honest, and he felt like, what did he say after that? I told him not to touch me. He felt like he had a right to protect himself because he didn't hit him. He didn't get up and get in his face. He was sitting down. He came to me while I was sitting down and put his hand on me. I know I said a few words as a little boy, but all I told him, long he don't touch me. He can say all he want to do. He can get up in my face. He can do whatever he want to. I told him, I even warned him, don't touch me.
Right.
So watch this.
Even that, Bishop, they took that out of context. When a black person says he touched me or I told him or her not to touch me, it means they hit you. They said, oh, well, he said that he had only touched him. That's not what he meant.
That's not what he meant. I'm gonna tell you what he meant about the touch. I'm gonna take a little further than that. He said, "Don't do nothing that make me fear that I have to protect myself." That's what he's saying. He's saying, "Don't touch me," because when we say "don't touch me," we're not saying like put something on your shoulder and you knock it off. He ain't saying that. Then they're gonna use. Watch it. I'm gonna show you how they lying. Let's be honest. Let's just tell the truth. One say he did a light touch. They rehearsed those kids. And some kids say he grabbed him like a football player. You know, he jacked him up. Watch it out. One thing about a lie, you got to keep telling it. Come on, somebody. They said all the kids said the same thing. No, they didn't. All of them didn't say the same thing. One said it was light touch. One said he grabbed him like a football. So watch there. Who telling the truth? Let me tell you something. Then they said all the kids that was witness said the same thing. They all play on his team. They all his friends. You think I'm going to let you get away and I felt like you killed my friend? They done told them kids, they done looked at their video. Watch them. They done got, they done surround the place and to get evidence. They done asked those kids, did anybody record? Did anybody do this? Did anybody do that? They done that. So watch it here. You don't think they done rehearsed those kids and told them before the trial, there are certain things if you say certain things, don't you want Austin? Don't you want this guy to pay for? Yes, I do. Don't you want? Listen, this certain thing you have to say. We don't have to go into the detail. We're not going to put so much pressure on you, kid. We don't want you to go through a lot of thoughts. We don't want you to have no nightmares. So we're going to just ask you a few questions, and when we go to trial, I want you to be able to answer this way. Where it be okay. Now you do know you don't think Austin really wasn't the aggressive one. You think that Austin was trying to do a good job? Yes. You think he was just trying to get the guy on the tent? Yes. Did he have some talk back? Yes. Do you think he should have left? Yes. Why you think he should have left? Because it's our tent. Okay, so he was in the wrong. So they go through, they play these games, because I've been through the system. They play this game, and now all these kids in agreement. So when they go, here's the problem I got, Lakeysha, with all of this. The lawyer, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Metcalf talked to me on the phone. Jeff, Metcalf, we had a talk. It's what he told me. He told me, I didn't know this.
Now this is exclusive, y'all. Wait a minute, Bishop. Now this is an exclusive because this just happened.
Yeah, this just happened. Now this just happened the other day. And he know ain't lying. The Holy Ghost, God know ain't lying. He said that the DA and the lawyer, y'all might went to school together, whatever. They came in law school together. They know each other personally. They're friends. This what he said. I said, what? He said, they friends. I said, oh my God. How is it that this lawyer, watch this here, you don't think it's possible if we friends? Let's be honest. Hey man, we got to beat this case. We can't let this case. Listen, you represent them, but don't push it. Leave us a room where I got to have it. And I'll let you get 5 more. I'll let you get some cases and I'll let you win and go through whatever. But I got to have this one. Do this for me, buddy. This is going to make us look bad.
That, Bishop, because I don't remember, but somebody said that the lawyer was doing good up until he met with the DA. I got to go back and look at my notes.
He wasn't doing good. Let me tell you something why he wasn't doing good. Let's stop playing. He wasn't doing good because when he allowed no blacks to get on there, he should have been screaming and hollering.
No. They said, no. Not during this time. They said like the first couple of weeks or like the first month, he seemed to be doing good. I'm not talking about the lawyer.
In the trial, I don't think he was seeming to be good, because let me tell you something. All them 21 kids, 23, they got up there, he should have crossed every time.
No. The attorney was horrible. They were saying when they first hired him and he got Karmelo out, I think for the bond hearing or something, they said he seemed to be good then, but then after he met with the district attorney, they said they were starting to wonder why they should keep him.
Well, here's the thing. It was a black judge that lowered the bond. Yeah. Watch it. They didn't even want to do that. I don't give him no credit for that. And it was my pastor friend that bonded him out, Corey Tony. is the one, no limit bail bond is the one that bond them out with no cost. And so that other stuff, let me tell you why this lawyer, I've been through a trial. I've been through this. And you can, it's evident that never in history, I ain't never seen a lawyer just didn't challenge, didn't have no witness for him, didn't have nobody but two people. Then they was like they was on the they done twisted up and make it look like they on a district attorney side. And so, but let's look at the conclusion. Let's look at the conclusion of it. What lawyer? You can tell him if he was for him. One thing about a lie, it always exposed itself. Why didn't he call his pastor, his teacher?
Yeah. When
they gave him sentence, why he just used the mama? Let me tell you why he used the mama. He know everybody, the mother gonna say, have mercy on my son. Right. She wasn't a good talker. He didn't talk to the family. She don't do that much talking. She just said, my baby, they not trying to hear them folks angry. They mad. They want revenge. The Christians want revenge. They don't want to give it to the Lord. The Christians want revenge. And so why didn't he do that? You know why? When I went to jury trial, even though they gave me a bunch of time, I had about 10 witnesses.
Right. That's what the lawyers that I had on my panel, that's what they said. They said when they know that their client is going to get some time, they said they have so many witnesses.
Everybody. I'm calling the priest that touched the little boy and everything. I'm calling everybody. I'm calling everybody, even if they ain't credible. I'm calling everybody. Right. But they didn't do it. You know why? It's because he didn't represent him the right way. Watch this. Let me share this with you. I want you to catch this. So I talked to his daddy. His daddy said he went to the press release. Watch this here. To make peace. Hold up, brother. You at the press release with glasses on. And you ain't tell nobody you coming. He went there to hear. And the news made it look like Dominique Anderson was so mean and he put him out and didn't have no compassion. Y'all lying. I was there. I walked him to the car. I said, hey, man, I it's going to be all right. You know, I hate that you out the league, but nobody, you made me nervous. You sitting there in the back ain't saying nothing. He was there to try to make sure they didn't make it look like his son was a bully. He was there to get information. If you were there to make peace, let's be honest. If you really was, I had to weigh it out. You could have called the fact. You could have said this here. Hey, I want us to pray together. He said that changed the outcome, how he felt about the situation. Mm-hmm. I don't think it changed the outcome. You know why it didn't change the outcome? It's because he wanted revenge. He didn't want to face up to reality. Why your son couldn't just went and got a coach. Then he told me this here. This blew my mind. I don't know this on record. And he said a school teacher came to Carmelo and told him leave first.
Yeah, you told me that. That's a lie. No, but that man, when you told me,
he said he had 15 different people.
No,
I know this a lie, but here's the lie. He said a school teacher came and told him leave first. Let me show you something about if he lying. Now I told him, I said if this is true, then we got nothing. Then I respect that because I'm for what's right. I said if that's true. I wonder why he didn't leave. If he wouldn't listen to the school teacher, now that's something. That don't add up. Then he said this here. He said where they was walking on the video, his son never walked up to him. They was already sitting down. He said they went to trash talk and his son turned around and went and confronted him. But I don't know. Watch this. I don't know the videos. I don't know. He said it was AI chopped up. Okay, watch this. After I talked to him on the phone. But here's the fact though. Even I keep hearing people saying he didn't get jumped on by 4 guys. Okay, man, so what? What do that mean? That don't change the fact. You no matter what they say, you still want to see Carmelo Anthony, this young man, throw it away. Because we're not even banking on that. Even if it was 4 guys, but we do know it was 2 heavyweights. We do know that. It was 2 brothers there. So that alone would bring fear to me. Forget the 2. If you weigh bigger than me, it would bring fear to me because the weight side. Now watch this. Somebody said, why he just didn't get up and move. Now I gotta sit down in a different look now. I gotta get close where you can see my eyes. Show me where a black young male gonna listen to a 17-year-old Caucasian male and think he gonna validate with an attitude, telling him to move from under tent. You didn't say it nice. You told me you were gonna move me on your own. And you tell me why he didn't move? Because he's 17. In reality, no another kid ain't gonna listen to no another kid, unless known he's a white guy. Let me get the honest with y'all. Why? Because black kids already feel like whites been treating them bad. Black kids already feel that they ain't got no respect. They treat them like a dog. They call them monkeys. They call them niggas behind those. They already got in their mind that they've been treated bad. Now you gonna send a white kid to tell me to get in the rain and belittle me in front of everybody? Let me tell you why he didn't move. Just like Rosa Parks didn't move when she was sitting in that bus and they told her get in the back. You know why she didn't move? Because she got tired of people treating her people like we nothing. She got tired of people. Some people say, long as she on the bus, she just should have gotten in the back, but she made history. Watch this. Because she took a stand for people who've been oppressed for years. She didn't do it for herself. She did it for her people. She did it for people who've been treated bad, who've been stepped on. That's why she did it. Okay, so why did Carmelo did it? Let me tell you, he did it because he's a young black man. And he feel like the reason why Austin doing that to him, because they don't respect us. They treat us bad. Right. We don't have no rights. If two people get in trouble, y'all know it's true. You got cops will pull over a black male and go in his car and everything, and he got insurance and driver. He was still certain because he felt like blacks ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna call him turn a fire, so he run over you. What you say?
Have you heard the Metcalf? What is his name? Jeff Metcalf. Have you heard his racist rants? Have you heard any of those?
Can you let us hear it?
Oh
please?
my.
Please, can you let us hear it? Please.
I sure.
But what's this? They ain't heard nothing. Remember when I first talked to Jeff, I really thought Jeff had me fooled. I'm being honest. He sounded like a Christian guy. Hey, y'all not Christians when you don't forgive and you cuss like a lawnmower. You cuss, you use words that you're not a Christian. I know people call Christian anything. As long as you go and you got a church and a pastor, that's don't make you a Christian. He don't have no fruits of the spirit. I heard him. I'm not lying. I heard him on pastor. I hate to say that the Bible said judge a tree by his fruit. His fruit did not produce love, patience, kind. He was saying blank, 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 and this blank, blank, blank. I would say, oh Lord, you on the phone with about blank, blank. But let us hear. Let's speak. What's the one thing the Bible said? What dawn and dark come to light. Let us hear. What's this here? How Jeff really talk. Y'all can't fool me. A fruit that fall from the tree.
White person for every fucking thing else. We're the bad ones. We're the one held you down. Guess what? You can do everything in America that I can do. Tell me one thing you can't do that I can't do. We all have equal rights. What's it say? All men are created equal. The First Amendment protects free speech. I'm for it. Free speech doesn't guarantee you safety. Perfect example. Charlie Kirk, a man who I admired, looked up to. You know why? Because he could fight with words and logic. He didn't need fists, guns, or knives. No. He sat down and talked with you. How do you solve any situation when there's a problem? Communication. Charlie was an expert. That's one person I admit I would not want to debate. He was a walking chat GPT. He's an asshole. Or he's the greatest guy who'll give you the shirt off his back. So they both can be right. Because I give what you get. Or what you give, or to me, I'll give you back. So am I racist? Yeah, I'm racist against assholes. I don't like them. I could care less about the color of your skin. We all bleed the same color. admired, looked up to.
Actually, that's a good one. This one,
That's
that one ain't bad.
I
That's
agree
a,
with that. I agree
Yeah,
with that. I didn't say nothing wrong about that. Go ahead. What else?
that's a good one. Now this it's a couple of really bad ones because when I play it over here, they say take that man off the screen. Now, most recently, I don't have that one, but he was over on TikTok calling some woman
Oh, I heard it all. Oh, I heard it all. That's a good one right there. He had his stuff down pat.
That one wasn't bad. That's not. It's another. I had a few.
That's all right. That's all right. We patient. I know. We know how to put on the good guy. We know how to put on the good guy. That's a good guy. Like, that ain't what he said on the phone when you ask him certain things. Oh, he get uptight. He wanted him to come. I said, let's make peace for real. Let's come. Let's do it the right way. Then he got this guy named Bruce Wayne, with the cowboy hat on. Y'all watch that guy. I think Trump sent him down to Dallas.
Are you talking about Jeff No, you talking about I know who you talking about. What is his name?
I think the president sent him down. Bruce Wayne. He wore a cowboy hat. He was down there. I think that I called him in a lot, and I'm just straight. I can't wait to see him. He say in Dallas. I'm just straight up. I don't trust him now because I think that the president. This is just me because I know he helped Trump get in office, and I don't have no problem with no authority. I think that it got so heavy and so deep that he sent him down here to make sure everything go right. I really believe that. I believe that in my heart. This stuff deeper than what y'all think. Y'all can't even see it.
Are you talking about the man that got charged with threatening to hurt? You're not talking about him, are you?
No, he wasn't threatened. You remember, you go back when Jake Long came and he was out there first trying to protest, and that black guy had Jeff on the phone talking with the cowboy hat on. If you go back, and he was standing there and saying that, tell that white guy, I don't want this for my son, make my son look bad. And that's true. But because Jake Long was putting it out there plain, you can't put it out there plain because you make the people go against you. If you really want to do something, you got to fix it up. You got to make it look like you're the good guy. He was out there too plain. He was out there too naked. And so
here with some hardcore receipts on the. This wasn't about.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay, what were you saying?
So those the same thing. Let me see what it says. Jeff McCack out himself as a racist must see. What are you talking about?
Okay. All right.
Anthony trial aftermath. Jeff Metcalf got on TikTok Live and showed you his completely racist side. For him to sit there and say this wasn't about race, and this video I'm about to show you gives you an idea into how these twins were raised and how we ended up here and how they were most likely talking to Carmelo. Look at what Jeff Metcalf had to say about slavery.
Even though they did wrong, you're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. It means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or race or gender. Whose broad ass idea was that? I don't know about you, but when I grew up, there was no participation trophy. There wasn't a safe space created for me because my feelings were hurt. We had to take actual responsibility for our own actions. Wow, what a concept. If you want society to change, if you want a better place for your kids, then get involved in your kid's life, in your community, in your church. But don't sit on your couch and bitch when it doesn't go your way.
And what's crazy is in part of this video, he tries to say black fathers are not involved in their life. It's like 78% of y'all aren't even involved, when that statistic has been debunked. Black fathers are more involved in their children's life than almost any other race. Next, he has a Mark Wayne Mullen moment, claiming to be Native American, and goes on another racist rant. Look at this.
We are Native American. I have my Indian card and so do the boys. So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat.
Let me guess, your Indian name is Running Around with Big Racist Mouth Bull.
The next question is, are you satisfied with the sentence that Carmelo Anthony received? Do you believe Austin has received justice?
That's a real easy question for me to know. Hell no. What is justice? Justice for me is when Austin walks through that door and can hug me. That's how long he should stay in jail. Until my son comes back through that door. Do I think justice was served? No. There's all types of justice. Street justice, legal justice.
Let me guess. Real street justice means strange fruiting someone like you good old boys used to do in the old days, and have picnics and make postcards. I'm sorry for anybody who was triggered by this video, but I thought it was important to debunk Jeff Metcalf saying he's not racist. And now you get an idea for how these twins most likely acted towards Carmelo Anthony, acting like they were superior to him. And I do believe he acted in self-defense, and we need to bring justice to Carmelo Anthony.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Bishop.
I want to say something. He got a good point. Let me weigh it out. I don't believe that blacks should use the past as an excuse, but I also examine that there's a system beyond confinement in the natural. You can't do all this to a person, rape them, murder them, kill them, and throw them in society and say, get over it.
Right.
It don't work that way. When you look at the black history, some of these people are not saying, because what the Caucasian man did, that now they need to take care of me. I need to be on food stamp. I need to not work. That's not what they're saying. That's not what they said. If you look at the truth, majority of Caucasian live good. I was riding around and I was driving in 10. I was looking at all these land. I said, man, whoa, not Google. 90% white man on it. Watch the show. If you did something long time ago, it's going to take a whole lot, years and years, for you to straighten out a lie. Watch the show. So when people like Jeff say what he's saying, that's a certain truth to that. But let's look at the whole truth. When you done put in their mind that they ain't nothing, and you pass it on, you done beat them. And when they try to go and you say, hey, you can be whatever you want to be, that sounds good. But when you stand in the way, when they walk around and they see that if they walk down the street, a police can just do this and what he want to do to them, and you tell them it's equal, y'all stop playing. It ain't nothing equal. That's game. That's game. Stop saying it's equal, because we see it in the court system. Look at the majority of people that's locked up. I said, we see it in the court system. So don't tell me that you can have the same rights that Bob have. and Billy have. That's y'all stop playing. Y'all stop playing. And so when you look at the system of the mind, it's dangerous than being locked up physically. The change of your mind. And so this man, I like whoever this guy is because he just telling the truth. But Jeff has some good points. I take the good points.
The thing that I don't like, Bishop, is his points were geared toward Black people. We are not the number one race on public assistance. We are the smallest.
That's
race.
Right. You got more Caucasian on food down there, but I know that a lot of people don't know that. You think and he used that, but this part I like. I'm talking about the part that he did say right now. That part, that's a lot. It's a lot of other things that he said that people don't go out and research. And so it looked like all Blacks on food stamp. You got more Caucasian on food stamp than anybody. So, but here's the thing. He said something about 400 years ago. He acknowledged we were brought on a boat, and he acknowledged that these things took place. He acknowledged it. But watch here. So what do Black people do? I'm just being honest. That they know the history, how they raped our ancestors, kill our babies with no compassion. Then you don't put in the school about the history of the Black man. You make it look like they don't have no, God just looked over them. If you look, and I know this is going to sound strange when I say this, but I got to tell you the truth. When you look at the Bible, the white Bible, ain't number white people in there. Jesus was racist. Come on, let's be honest. If you look in the church and you got some ignorant Black folk, I know you might didn't know I'm gonna say this on your show. They got a Caucasian white man with blue eyes and blonde hair, and they called it Jesus. And you ask your kids, who are that? They say Jesus. These lies been told to our kids, and the lie haven't been straightened up. Okay, right. Okay. There's so many lies that been told. Is why? It's because nobody's standing for the truth. Then grandmama, don't move my picture. That's my Lord Supper. But the Bible said don't make no image up above or underneath. The Bible said don't do it. And so now, if you're in the mindset and you look and these kids see these Caucasian folks all in the Bible, and you don't see nobody Black in there, no Chinese but white, you're going to think the whites is superior over everybody. And this is why certain things you should not do anyhow. When you talk this truth, nobody want to hear it. You racist. Then they got the Black folk. I seen a brother with purple robe. They had a Black Jesus on there with some horn. Now they done took on the same behavior of people who are in this mindset. So you got to be careful. You got to have balance. Here's the thing. People don't want truth. But watch this. I'm going to say that they're going to get mad at this. I respect Boosie. I respect Cardi B. I respect these artists that use their voice to bring out a message. It ain't going to be perfect. I respect Jasmine Crockett. You know why? Because they risk everything that they work for because they stand up for what they believe that is right. Watch this. But people going to twist it. And they're going to say, how can you justify a murder? What is a murder first? Let's get to the root of it. A murder is someone that intent to harm a human without a cause.
Right. Bishop, we got one more though. We got one more video for
okay. I want to see it. I want to see it.
It's not easy. God doesn't say that. God says there's going to be trials and tribulations. God says there's going to be people out there who will deceive you. People out there, I mean, if we want to go back Old Testament, eye for an eye, Sodom and Gomorrah, turn to stone, man lays with a man, you die. I mean, this is all your personal choices. It's none of my business. I stay in my lane. Just don't come in my lane with your I respect everyone until they disrespect me. I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times while I've had to sit here and take it. I'm going to tell you right now, Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony, you're a and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you? Hey, Kevin Hayes, you fucking liar. Day after it happened, how many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me. I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do. Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture. You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Let me make one up. Y'all can let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy I was trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's going to have many nights to think about what the he did. I forgave him so I don't carry the hate and the anger. So I don't get ate up like cancer and kills you from the inside. It's like me drinking poison and hoping it kills you. Doesn't work that way. You've got to let that stuff go or it will kill you. It will eat you up inside. So when people ask me, how can you forgive him? If I didn't, I would have wound up killing him and going to prison myself. That's how stupid people, when you get irrational, because you can't make a good decision if you're emotional. Emotion and intellect do not mix. If you're emotional, you can't come up with a logical solution.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, go
You
ahead.
just lied specifically, and nobody can get around. A real Christian, no, that go for black, white. He said he forgave him. He didn't forgive him. He won't revenge. He said, I wish he enjoyed the first night.
They tried to set Carmelo up.
He said, if I didn't forgive him, I would have killed him. No, he didn't want to go to prison. That's why he didn't want to kill him. He didn't want to kill him because he knows it comes something with that. So that's not that. If he had the opportunity to kill him and get away, he'll do it. The Bible says you hate a brother without a cause, you're a murderer. So miss me with that. No, he didn't forgive him, because if he forgave him, he would have went in that courtroom and told them, people like Jesus said on the cross. He said, Father, forgive them for what they know not what they do, why they was killing him. He would have told everybody, he would have made a blessing to every, just what he would have did it in a Christian way. What if he would have walked in that courtroom and say, hey, I don't know what really happened. I believe my son. I believe that this kid made a mistake, honest. Or I wish Austin would have went and did it another way. I wish he wouldn't would have got a coach, would have got a teacher. I wish, and I wish you wouldn't kill my son. He could have said that. But watch this here before we play the video. Let me tell you what he did. He said he forgive him. Every lying demon, every lying Christian, black or white, if you don't forgive Austin, you don't forgive Carmelo, you ain't a Christian. You lying. He didn't forgive him. Let me tell you why. Because he had an opportunity to shock the world. Just a man. Do you remember that black young man when that lady that also killed this guy in Dallas and walked in the apartment? That Christian brother.
Both of them, Gene, both of them, something like that.
And told him, forgive him, hugged her, and wanted to say. Then the judge gave her a Bible. Watch this here. Christian, that's Christian. Yeah, Judge Kelly gave her a Bible and said, don't give her, and she didn't even get that much time. She out now. But watch this here.
They was mad that they gave that woman that, she sure did.
They were mad, but I was a little mad because I was like, a cop kill a man, mind his own business, and get away that light. But when I saw it from a Christian perspective, I said, God gonna get some glory. He forgave them. Yeah. Jeff, I know you're gonna see this video. You didn't forgive, man. You had opportunity. Don't say it's a daddy side. The world had an opportunity. Even though a young man, you feel like taking life, you could have gave him life. You could have woke him up. You can't help him by saying this is what you get. You need life. That's not how you help nobody. And the world is so evil. This young man, what if he made a mistake? What if he did it out of fear? What if he didn't mean it? God look at the intent, but don't call that kid no murder. Y'all know this baby is not a murder. Y'all stop playing. Use people, regardless of what we say, you're going to try to twist it. You're going to try to make this young lady look bad. You're going to try to say we playing a race card. It's not a race card. Let me tell you what it is. It was a race setup, but we don't have to put a race card. We've been suffering for years. We've been getting injustice for years. This is not a race card. We just speaking out. And we're saying that sometime give him a fair trial. Black folks won't be so upset if y'all did it the right way.
Right.
If black folks wouldn't be so upset. Black folks are not racist. We are more than compassion folk, but we got some racist white folk that regardless, when you say hang that nigger, when you say he need a rope around his neck, when you say take a life, that's racist. Watch this. Black folks are tired. We are tired. We're tired of our own kind selling us out. We tired of people that when other people get in a situation, they get a deal and they straight up, I'm talking about you see straight facts evidence. In this case, it's a possibility. You can see it. It's a possibility that this kid didn't mean to take him out. Let me prove it. When he was running and they asked him, he said he'll be okay. Then he said, is he all right? If he intent, he didn't even know that he stuck him in the heart. He didn't know.
Right.
Intent, he didn't know. Then he said he twisted the knife. This is what his daddy told him. Say he stuck it and twisted it. Y'all play too much. Y'all, everything that's happened out of fear. Let me say this here, and I'm gonna let you play this here. This for all the people. This young lady been coming, and I think God led you. You hear me? God allowed you to be bold enough because you're gonna get criticized. People gonna say you're doing it for this. You're trying to open people's eyes. You're trying to say, listen, we have compassion for the soul lost, but be fair about it. Y'all didn't give him y'all didn't give him a chance. That's all we saying. And stop saying we're not saying we glad. Also, I feel if that was my baby, I'd be sad. We would never talk like that. I feel for his dad. I know he's walking in hurt and pain. I know he's angry. I know he won't revenge. But there's some things in you that's been hidden. The Bible said, "What's done in the dark come to light." There's some hate been in you. Y'all think all this happened for nothing? And this for both families. I believe that even in Carmelo's situation, God is trying to bring somebody close. God is trying to get somebody's attention. Even in jail, I know God is trying to show y'all. Y'all can look at the mama and the daddy wasn't even married. Y'all know something was going wrong in the house. God is trying to show y'all something. Listen, I believe that Austin ain't did this the first time. Y'all got to hear me. Even look at the way he walked. This ain't the first time he done did that. God don't let things happen just to be happening. That young man lost his life for a reason. And God is showing people that run around bullying people and stirring folks and doing this, whatever man sow, he shall reap. I'm just telling y'all the truth. You think God allowed that young man to lose his life? That's some things he done that y'all don't even know about. You think God allowed him to lose his life just for nothing? Come on, y'all. Come on. It's something that we don't see about this young man. It's some things. And y'all think out of all the kids, why did he walk up? Here come him. Out of all the kids, he was the one that get in the face. Come on, let me tell you why. Please hear me. You know why he got in that kid's face? It's not just about if intent. He thought he was bad enough and tough enough. Let's be real. That's why he doing it. I gotta tell the truth. He had a bully attitude. If you don't know what bullying is, please don't do that. Because I was bullied in school. I was picked on. I watched kids get in my face and talk about me and tell me to move and get out this seat. I've been bullied. If you never been bullied, stop saying he just touched him. Listen, when you know, somebody said, then why did he have that blade at the track meeting? Listen, he didn't have it to go look for no trouble. That might be something he keep with him. That might be something he use to clean his cleat with. Y'all trying to make it look like he went to school with a knife to kill somebody. Y'all so evil. Y'all so wrong. Y'all ain't right. And all the Caucasian folk that agree with that, you just doing it because it's your skin color. You know it. You know that's the God untruth. That white lady named Kelly, she got the devil in her. You know, y'all just doing that. Y'all not waiting it out. They said, what if it was a flip? I'm standing for what's right. Even if it was, watch this, it was a white kid kill a black kid, I would still say the same thing. What happened? What made them black boys get up on him? What made them black boys get in their face? They scared that little white kid. I would have said the same thing. You wouldn't. You know why? Because the truth ain't in you. You're not going to listen. You're not going to try to wear it out. You're not going to say, maybe Bishop right. Maybe Lakeysha, right? Maybe I need to look at. You're not going to do that, right? Then y'all lied on them. Y'all said they took money and used it for themselves. Y'all lied on them people. Y'all don't know these people. Didn't know who to believe, what to do. I talked to them. They was trying to get. They had to move. They had to move from here because they were threatened. They lost their house. They couldn't work. They lost their job. And you had lawyers asking for money, doing it. They wasn't over the money. Y'all still some of y'all know. Then when you lie, especially that old boy Tatum, he said they bought house and called. You say you're a man of God. You wasn't even man enough to come back and say, well, they lied on that. We need to straighten that up. They did that.
Another thing, Bishop, I don't mean to cut you off, but they want me to make sure you understand, because we've been doing research here. Now, this is what what we don't want to do is, Carmelo has not even spoken. We're just going off of what we think happened or what they say happened. When we watched the video, because we talked about it over here, and I told them, I said, listen, we're watching a video and we see people putting stuff in the garbage can. We see people changing their clothes. So it leads us to believe that maybe Carmelo thought that he did something that he actually did.
I'm finna go there. You beat me to it, girl. Listen, I'm finna go there because, you know, I'm from the streets. Watch this here. What did he ran and put in that trash can? What's here? Let's say Karmelo might have thought he did it because they rationed him. What to say he did do it? Watch here. And he saw them with a knife. You got to look at it. We heard from Karmelo. They might have brought a weapon to the game. And they ain't going to bring that, get rid of the weapon. It can justify why he did. Nobody ain't going to bring that up. But because we don't know, let's stick with this. Let's stick with this. Because we don't know don't mean it didn't happen. You got to weigh out everything. But I don't want them to think we just saying that because we trying to run from the fact. We got enough fact that we ain't got to make up nothing. We got enough fact to know that this kid was sitting down on the phone, minding his own business. We got enough fact to know this here. Watch that, because I don't need no, truth don't need no help. We got enough fact. He had to walk up to him. He had to get up in his space. And we know that if he wanted some trouble, he wouldn't have sat down. He would have stood up. We know he didn't want no trouble. These are things I'm trying to lay out. We know he wasn't the one that initiated. They said when they found him guilty, you can't say self-defense and you caused the problem. How did he cause the problem? Because he's sitting on a tent that wasn't healed? That make him cause the problem? Where did the problem come at? The problem came in when you said, get from under tent in. If you don't, I'm going to move you myself and I'm going to put my hands up. That's the problem. The problem came in when he decided that he wanted to take it in his own hand to move this kid from under. When you seen that he wasn't going to move, why you didn't go get no authority? Let's face reality. Why nobody said, well, Austin, you kind of brought that on yourself. You kind of, you know, I hate that he did that to you, but you put your hands on that young man. You touched him. And however you look at a touch, y'all stop saying he came up there and touched him and that's that was it. That touch led to something. You can touch somebody like that and we're finna go at it. You think he came up there, light touch him, heavy touch, and that was it? Y'all play too, but y'all stop playing. You know why they want to make it look like that? Because they want to keep the people in the mind that he was a good kid and he didn't do nothing but trying to tell this guy to move. And he told him, I didn't want to fight. You know why they didn't let his brother testify? They smart. That lawyer wasn't nothing because it would contradict everything that we said. All they had to do was ask him a few questions. Did she snatch the bag? Do you know if you take my property and you snatch something from me, rob me, I can defend my property. Do you know, forget self-defense. If you snatch something of mine, I have the right. If they kill a boy for running out, they say he stole water. He admit, his brother say he snatched his bag. So
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So and you kind of mentioned this. One thing I can say about Black people, we ain't dumb, but we will take accountability. See, when we see our people do something stupid, we call it out. We don't be with the bullshit. The situation here is, like you said, we don't feel like he got a fair trial. So if, let's just say, all of this played out the way that it was supposed to, we feel like they, you know, Carmelo was defended. Let's say the jury was diverse and he got 35 years. Now people will be like, that's still, you know, that's still a lot, but we wouldn't feel like we feel now. We feel like we feel now because we don't feel like he got a fair trial. Period.
It ain't about feel, woman of God. It's not a facts and feel to them thing. It's a fact he didn't get a fair trial. You know why? They intent. They wouldn't. Trial ain't fair. A DA job ain't to figure out if he intent or not. A DA job is to find him guilty, even if he know he didn't do it. Even if he know of a self-defense, even if it know, that's not a DA. People don't understand the law. It's a DA job to represent the family. It's a lawyer job to represent his client, even if he's guilty or not guilty. But watch this here. But sometimes people, y'all got to get this. Sometimes people will let their feeling and emotion get in, and it's a possibility. You got a white attorney that know y'all friends, y'all done shoot pool drunk together. It's a possibility that his lawyer sold him out. It's a possibility. You know why I believe it? And I don't like to add stuff because he didn't represent him. He been in the experience too long. Show me any jury when they find guilt, they just shoot one witness, that's the mother. Show me where it been. Show me that it ain't, nobody ain't got their hands, and show me where people get convicted and the next day he on the change and put in the system. You know why they did that? They want to make sure that if anybody reverse, anybody high, turn this thing around, they want to make sure we put that Black boy in prison. We're going to embarrass him. We're going to cut him hair off. We're going to put him in a slave suit. Come on. They did that all intention. Y'all don't even see it. They did that. They made up their mind. Watch this here. Not only that, this is what they don't know. The Blacks, now we got to play a race card here, they say. They're not going to let them touch that boy. I did 15 flat years. They'll lay their life down. Everybody in there. You know why? Because if they allowed him to touch that boy, it's going to make the Blacks have no authority in the system. Everything they stood for, every gain, they're not going to touch him. They're not going to touch him. So we ain't worrying about this. All this AI, they're not going to touch him. I promise he's safe. I've been there and I made calls. Watch this. So, but you got to understand this here though. When people talk like they talk, they talking out of hate. And watch this here, y'all. Let's be honest. Y'all know no gangster ain't got straight A's. Y'all know no gangster. Come on. That's got 2 jobs. Y'all know that. But you let AI, you let this little picture they done made up, and you done judge this brother by something they didn't do. I want to hear this video if you don't mind.
I was just gonna say, let's play the video. Let's play the video because also too, when we get done with the video, what you said, and I want you to re-emphasize it when we get done playing the video, is you stated, because we want to know why Carmelo didn't take the stand. And I know you know why he didn't take the stand. So let's, we're going to get into it.
Rational and smart. If someone touches your arm, does that justify you stabbing them in the heart?
In a hostile situation where someone walks up to me,
answer the question, yes or no. Does it
I'm
justify
answering your question. That's not the situation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You walked up the whole totality of the situation.
He touched him. Does that justify? Okay, man, I'm done. Fuck off. Next person.
Man, you fuck off. Yeah, you disrespect.
Dude, why don't you go to fucking just somewhere where you belong?
The Real. Do you have a question or comment? Yeah, Jeff Metcalf, you're a racist ass prick.
Fuck you, nigger fucking whore loving bitch.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Oh, that's strong. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. And it's sad. Here's the sadder part about this. Let me tell you what's so sad about this. That guy that do sports, Nelson, all these black people. I don't know. I don't understand y'all. I really love everybody. I have mixed people in my church. I love everybody. And you can't tell nobody, my white friends, you can't tell me that you can't tell them nothing about Bishop. And they know I love them.
That's
but
what his
y'all
son
don't see.
That's where his son get that from.
Yeah, y'all don't see the substance. When a person get angry, that's like a man get drunk. He starts speaking his real mind. When people upset, nothing that's ain't in you can't come out of you. Let me tell y'all something. If he said that and you stand up behind a man like that, it's good to have compassion for a son. That's right. He lost his son. But you think that man is honest? That man just exposed who he really are. Christians don't do that, y'all. I'm tired of people hiding behind Jesus' name. God allowed this because a lot of Christians say they Christian. God will use this situation and see, can you forgive him? Even if you felt like he murdered him or whatever, can you still forgive him? A lot of y'all been exposed and you know you're not right. You know how hard it is for black folks had to forgive when they look back and their mother's been raped, killed babies, no respect. You think we ain't no passion folks? You know the history behind what black folks went through? Do y'all really know the history? Do you really understand what really happened? You don't care because it wasn't you. See, if you've never been in them shoes, you're not going to feel what they feel. If you've never been locked up for something you didn't do, you're not going to feel what a person that's locked up for something, because you're going off of your emotion and your opinion, but you're not going to feel it. You know how many people would call me racist because I'm standing up for the truth and I love everybody, because I used to be a fool. I used to be a blind. I used to say we just going to pray and that's it. We're going to trust God and that's it. I used to think like that. I used to see a picture of a Caucasian man with blue eyes and I used to say, that's Jesus. That's our Jesus. I used to be that same person. And I used to say, it don't matter what color it is. It do matter. Let me tell you why it matters, because it's a lie. It do matter that he put his hand on him. Somebody said, he kept saying he just a touch and he killed him. No, he don't deserve to die, but he don't deserve to put his hands on nobody. You don't have a right to put your hand on nobody, especially when you're threatening them. You don't even have a right to be in their space. If you're talking about doing something to me, I ain't gonna give you a chance to touch me. Some people ain't gonna give you a chance enough to touch them, especially when you saying you come to do something to them. Make some sense.
Right.
Y'all be honest. Make some sense. Just don't make sense.
None at all.
So if we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna be what's right, let's make some sense. Let me tell you something. I don't know who this black sister is. She was on that woman's show. The black lady that do comedy, she have a show. I don't know if she got braids. She was on the show and she was standing up for Carmelo, and she took a lot of backlash. The pastor from Powerhouse took backlash. Freddie Haynes took backlash. Let me share something with y'all. Let me share something with y'all. Them people is not speaking from the same spirit you speaking from. My Caucasian brother, you doing it out of unforgiveness and hate. Your spirit is different. They're speaking from all the hurt, pain, injustice that they went through. They speaking from that. Never one time they said Austin deserved to die. but the white said he deserved to die and be put in prison. That's a different. That's no unforgiveness. You're saying he deserved this and worse. One lady said, you can't buy your life. You know, that's true. There ain't enough time to buy your life. There ain't a less time or 2 more times to change life. But watch this here, though. Jesus said, I'm sorry, y'all. Ooh, this gonna sound crazy to you, but I gotta use it. He said, let the dead bury the dead. I thought that was real strong what Jesus said. I said, Jesus, why you go? They said, let me say bye to my friend. Why would you say that, Jesus? He said, I got Austin. I got this. Let me deal with this. We got a young man that's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Why we ain't trying to get him saved?
Right.
We can't bring Austin back.
Right.
But we got a young man that you want to die in cell. You want to give revenge. But Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. But follow me. Let's go get this kid saved. Let's use this as an example. Let us talk to kids. Let his life be an example, not only to bully, but how to make decisions under pressure. Throwing him in jail ain't gonna change because he's not a bad kid. He's not a gangster. He's not a drug dealer. He's not out here in the street. He's a kid that made a mistake. He's a kid that felt like he was pressured.
Right.
Then I know if you're right. I know you're right when you sound right. But all of you, especially ladies, listen to all these news. The reason why you want Jeff on, you keep playing that tape where he was the young man was fighting for his life. It's a manipulation system. We know people gonna feel compassion when they hear somebody dying, taking their last breath. You keep playing that where you can build hate. You keep playing that where you can build revenge. You keep playing that where you can manipulate the people. He killed her. Did you feel heard? Yes, we heard it, and it was sad. But how did we get here? How did we really get here? A young man took in his own hand to approach a young black brother and told him, get from under the tent. And if you don't, I'm going to move you myself. And he did. He not only said he did it. And another young man say, I hear you, but I'm not moving. Because you my age, you 17. And I don't think you telling me moving for the right reason. You doing it out of, like somebody said, you was talking against that team. You're doing it out of the wrong spirit. Maybe if you did it in the right spirit, I might have considered to move. But you did it out of pride and to prove and to belittle me in front of these kids. So that's why I didn't move. I didn't move, stay there because I want to prove to you I'm tough. Because if I want to prove to you I was tough, I wouldn't have sat down and wait for you to get up on me. I would have got up on you. Right. I stayed there because I was trying to let you know I am not listening to you. And I told you don't touch me because I was hoping that you didn't approach me. That's real they get. Well, listen, the reason why we hear people, white, black, I don't care how you try to put it, let's say the facts. We know he was on the tent, Judge Joe Brown. We know he was on the somebody tent, Judge Joe Brown. We know. We know they told him 15 times. We know, I know. But in 15 times, you being a bullet. When you tell somebody more than 3 times, you trying to make them do something. That's a bullet attitude. You don't tell nobody 15 times to do nothing. Because the next time you're going to say, this the last time you don't move, I'm going to move. You're going to bring a threat with it. You think he told that boy 15 times and it's all pretty. Can you move? Can you please move? Will you pretty move? Can you move? You're going to get tired of yourself. You're going to be like, hey, you better move. Hey, you better move. Okay, you ain't going to move. You better move. Yeah, you're going to move. Yeah, I ain't worried. You're going to move. If you don't move, come on, y'all. Stop it. Stop
Bishop,
it.
let me address some people in the chat. Okay, so we have AQ24, and we addressed this one because they wanted me to mentioned that we don't really know if Karmelo actually did that. So we
We don't know.
say
We don't know.
Someone said, Milton Brewer says something done in Denton County is taken to Collin County. They understood too many blacks in Denton County and they couldn't pull it off there. So what he's assuming is, what I've learned is that this case could have been, I guess, taken to somewhere else. I'm not sure about that, but I heard people.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about Collin County. I'm from down. Let me tell you about Frisco. You don't want to get caught up in Denton, Frisco, and Arlington. Majority is white judges. They are not trying to hear it. Through any history, I've been there. You get caught in that. If it was bought in Dallas, it would have been a fair trial. Why they didn't bring it in the biggest city? They intentionally they want to get in Dallas. You know why? Because it would have been fair. They didn't want to do it. The lawyer, I don't think he pushed it to move it. Why? If he had to push it and move it, we would not be here talking like me and you talking. You know why? Because end of the day, a lot of truth would have came out. He in where it happened at, where it already been talked about a whole year. You don't think them 12 juries ain't heard about this case? And that everybody and their mama heard about it. The boy had no chance. They should have moved it. They gave him a fair. But look, listen to me, baby, please. They were not trying to be fair. Y'all stop saying that. And any black that would say he got a fair trial of justice, watch this. He didn't get a fair trial and justice no way. So even if you felt like he was guilty, even if you felt like he murdered in your heart, he did it intentionally, he still didn't get a fair trial. That's the point. He didn't get a fair trial. It's not fair when you don't put people on the trial that could make a decision based off the evidence instead of their emotion. So when you got people emotion upset and mad, it don't care who came. If they would have came in there and said Austin spit in his face and did this, when people mind made up, Moses himself couldn't change it. Right. So it don't matter. Go ahead.
And Monica, thank you so much for your super chat. She says, keep up the good work. Now, Bishop, this is one of the questions that everybody has been asking. And because I am familiar with how lawyers operate, people said, why didn't Karmelo take the stand? He should take the stand. Now, from my perspective, I know that generally you follow whatever your attorneys say. But I have come to learn that whenever it's a self-defense case, you need to take the stand. The reason that you need to take the stand in a self-defense case, because if you were fearful, who else can say how fearful you were but you? Now, my understanding is that Karmelo didn't take the stand. For one, I don't know if you are familiar with the Not Guilty Boys. Well, I had them over here, and I also went over to their channel, and I learned that they're saying, and this is, their attorneys, so they, information that they know from, other attorneys or however they got the information, but that the attorney, Mike Howard, told them that he did not want Karmelo to take the stand because it was allegedly some evidence, but this turned out to be a lie because whatever this evidence was, he never showed the family. But initially what he said was it wasn't a good idea for Karmelo to take the stand. And by the family not really knowing much about, legal issues to this magnitude, they decided to not put Karmelo on the stand.
Well, let me say this here. I want to see if I have it, because I have it bad. Keeping us up. This the family. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is family. This for Anthony sent me. I want to show you what I told him. I told him, whatever you do me one favor. If you feel like you respect me as your pastor, respect me, be there for. if you respect me, I said, I've been through the system. I said, whatever you do, I beg. And I was crying. I ain't gonna lie. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning crying because I was passionate about it. I knew what he was gonna go through. I said, let your son take the stand. I said, if you love me, you respect me, you know, I've been there for you. Let him take the stand. He said, well, the lawyer said. I said, I don't care what the lawyer say. I can't sleep at night. I'm showing what God showing me. The reason why I want him to take the stand is because no matter what you say, I say, what they saying, they need to hear his heart.
Right.
But they never been in this situation. They are trusting the law. They put the lawyer, they son in the lawyer hand more than they put him in God's hand.
Yeah.
God send you a God-fearing man. God send you somebody that hear from the Lord. The Bible said a faithful prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Somewhere spiritually, you're not connected to God because you're not hearing the God. Man, I don't care who it is. I plead with you. This don't benefit me. I don't care. I risk my life. I risk my family life by standing up. I don't care. I stand up for right. I'm willing to live for it. I'm willing to die for it. So I'm telling you, I can't sleep. If you don't let your son testify, I said, it's going to get crossed out. I'm going to tell you why. If I was on the stand with my record, I done robbed people, I done sold drugs, I don't get on the stand. Your son ain't got no record. Right. He said, well, the DA, he's qualified. He gonna rip him alive. He can't rip him alive. You know why? He could have said the same thing he said when he ran up on people. I told him not to put his hand on me. That was the truth. That was real emotion.
Right.
That right there alone, if they would have played that and understand this kid was in fear. I told him not to put his hand on me. He let him know. I told him. I didn't go and look for trouble. I warned him. A murder don't warn you. I'm finna come kill you. That's why I know it wasn't fair. And the reason why he didn't take the stand, y'all, because his lawyer convinced him not to. That's why. Me and his dad Rouse, and his dad know if he see the show, I told him I'm very mad at him. I'm very upset. Because you didn't listen to me. You listened to Charles and White. You might have listened to Dominique Anderson. I don't care about that. I believe I got a relationship with God. I don't care about that because I've been in the system. I've been there. Watch this. Charles and White.
Right. You were right, Bishop, because the lawyers that I had on my show, they said you can almost never, well, I don't know if they said this, but what they did say is it's very impossible to win a self-defense when you don't take the stand, because you need to tell the jurors how you felt. Nobody can tell the jurors how you felt.
Come on. So, nobody. We know why? Because we don't know what's in your mind. We don't know why. If we hear what's in your mind, even if the 12 jury was all white, if they hear your heart, somebody, I don't care how evil they are, how much they want revenge. The Bible said God changed the heart of the king. God can turn it. Yeah. If they hear his heart, it hurted me. And I'm gonna tell you what his daddy did. And I'm being honest, I'm upset with him. I supposed to have been in court that day when they gonna do this cross-examine, the main day. He let somebody that's with the judge, his lawyer, come in, a good brother, but the benefit he was there didn't mean that. I knew I was supposed to have been there that day because I was going to tell the dad, listen to me. I see where this case going. Your son got to testify. If he don't testify, they going to cross him out based on, and the lawyer ain't doing good enough. The DA whooping his tail. Why? Because the DA ain't doing enough but playing the same rehearsal. We told him to get up 15 times. He murdered him. He killed him. And that's all they were putting in their mind. It wasn't nothing that showed why he touched him, why he stick him. Nothing to put in people's mind. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe he did the. You can't blame the jury. I got to be honest. You can't blame the jury. You can't get mad at the jury.
Now that's a good point. Let me just tell you why. Because the guilty, what they call themselves, the not guilty boys, but they're two lawyers. and they said they just won a murder case in that same place with all no black jurors. So what they said is he should have put Carmelo on the stand. He should have worked with Carmelo so that he would have been confident with getting on the stand. He said if he would have put Carmelo on that stand, he probably would have had a different outcome.
Let me tell you something. I know it would have been a different outcome. Let me tell you why. If you meet the boy, woman, God, please hear me. Please, y'all, everybody that see this podcast, please hear me, please. And I know y'all angry. I know y'all mad. I know you want revenge. I know some of you black brothers don't even know the situation. You talking on it. You focusing on he murder. You're not looking at a murder and accident killing somebody or killing somebody or a manslaughter, totally different things. Please study what a murder is. Y'all using the wrong word. A murder is someone that intent. And when, can y'all hear me, please? If y'all knew this boy like I know him, oh Lord, if you see how humble he is, if you see he was shaking, that baby was shaking. If y'all really know him, the respect, I seen a lot of kids, I counsel with kids, I go into prison and pre. He was yes sir, no sir. I mean, if y'all can just see how, if you can know him for yourself, you'll say in your own mind, something ain't right. Not him. Don't put him in prison. You'll say, I'll go for him. If you meet him, you'll say, I'll do the time for him. He don't need to be in prison. If you meet him, if you saw him, even the judge himself, he didn't want to go against him. You look at news, he said, he talked to him and he kind of like, maybe, you know, he did it and I'm, you know, and I can't, like they did Jesus, you know, put the blood on my hand. I'm let them judge. He didn't want to make a decision, and he let him crucify him. And so, but you can't wash it out because you had the opportunity to do something about it. Watch it. He kind of knew we betrayed innocent blood. This is an innocent kid right here. Is there something ain't adding right? Can I tell y'all something? If y'all don't listen to nothing else we say on this broadcast, because a person make a mistake don't mean they did it. Have you ever did something you didn't mean? You did it out of spur of a moment. Have you ever cursed? Have you ever did this? Have you ever did it and you wish you can take it back? Right. This kid didn't practice hurting people. He didn't practice that he want to hurt a white kid and he don't like white people. That's not who he is. He wasn't there to try to join no gang. He wasn't there to try to impress nobody. He's a kid was sitting in the wrong place. That somebody didn't want him there. He was on his phone, and a kid walked up to him with the wrong attitude, or demanded him to get out from under the tent. Why? It's possible it was raining. I don't know if it was raining or not, but it's possible it was raining or it's finna rain. And he felt like he was doing something that was against his belief system. And unfortunately, somebody lost their life. All I ask y'all, those that want revenge, those that ain't gonna see it matter what we say, please, for the name of Jesus. A lot of them you say you Christian, ain't Christian. Have mercy on this young man and look at him. Even if you look at his record, even you look at what he was doing in school, let that be enough to say maybe it didn't happen like this. Why do you think they draw pictures and made pictures and make him look like a thug? Because they didn't have a record on him. They didn't have a history, so they had to make up something. And you couldn't see it. You couldn't see through muddy water. And so they had to come up with an image. This is not a broken family. This is a family that was together. This is a family that have a beautiful kid. This is a family that not out just on. He brought his kids in that neighborhood to give them a better life, not to make them be gangsters and thugs. So make it add up. Please be humble enough and kind enough to research it in your heart. Please ask God. You know, I ask God, you know, there's some things in my heart and people, and I ask God, give me the heart to see clear. Give me the heart of compassion. I don't want to see a race war. I don't want to see blacks against white. And because I love I had more problem with black people than white people. I'm just talking about when I grew up. Black folks done broke in my house. One of them want to steal my wife, and one of them want to lie on me. None of them white folks ain't did nothing that to me. So I ain't got no problem with white people. It's the black people I'm having a problem with. And so, but please hear my heart. Please hear my heart. Please. All we ask, he don't deserve that much time, y'all. He made a bad decision. And the reason why I say he made a bad decision is because he was in a place where he wasn't wanted to be there. They didn't want him to be there. Sometimes we try to fit in with people. Even his friend betrayed him. You know why he did that? It's because he liked it Austin more. He was pressured. So he changed his story. He didn't stand up for him. You know why he didn't stand up for him? Come on, y'all know kids. If he had to stand up for Karmelo, all them other kids would have went against him. And so he wasn't willing to risk his life, his family life, to stand up for what's right. Y'all got to look at all these kids, they didn't want to risk a lot. And it would have made them, if you really can pull them up, if y'all can really get them phone, it's nothing off the phone. It's nothing deleted. Everything in the space. If we can get those phones, I believe somebody texted Austin and told him he was under here and started something. I believe somebody did something to make this happen. If you look at how he was walking, if you look at, he wasn't walking and talking and walk and talk and y'all walk, kick it together. He walking with some purpose. He was walking with some purpose. You're not going to see that because you're not from the streets. You're not going to see that because you don't know what goes on with kids. I don't care if it's Frisco. I don't care if it's Plano. There's a wannabe gangster in everybody's hood. There's a wannabe tough guy in everybody's hood. I don't care who they is. And if you look at the history, if you do the homework, think about it. These boys were suspended. They wouldn't even supposed to be there at the game if they suspended. Let's look at it. These young men was already in trouble. That's why I say we hated what happened, but God saw everything. God see what we don't see. Think about it. You think he lost his life by chance? Out of all places, why did he get stuck there? That caused his life. Some people say he had to put pressure in the heart. Whoever, it was a freak accident, and he hit him in a place that God knew his time was up. Who can tell what he did that we don't know about? We don't know. I believe this in my heart. Nothing happened by chance. That's my rule of life. I believe that this, even though you might say, so you say God in it. No, God see what we don't see. God know what we don't know. Somewhere, I believe in my heart, Austin, this ain't the first time that he done bully a kid, out muscle a kid or something. Somewhere he done practiced his behavior. Somewhere. I don't think there's one chance all of a sudden God allowed this to happen to this young kid. I believe in my heart. I just believe somewhere he done had some history where he done did something to some people that we don't know about. I just believe it. And this day, he ran up on that caused his life. I don't care if it's pride, I don't care if it's ego, I don't care if it's tough. It caused him his life. Why did it cause him his life? Because he didn't use a kind word. He didn't use love. He didn't use let me let this guy he didn't use no Christian values. When you use Christian values, you get Christian response. But when you don't use Christian, when you do it in your own natural, the devil come to kill, steal, and destroy. Sometime in life, you can call death on yourself. It don't make no difference what age it is. God saw what's in his heart that we didn't see. It could have been 20 more years later. He could have been a killer of black people. It could have been 20 more years. He could have been a monster. We don't know. But when you have a father that talked the way he talked, don't you notice his mama and his daddy ain't really connect together and talk together really? Don't y'all? Can y'all see that? That's a reason, something that his wife know about the dad. Come on. And I believe that innocent woman, I think she hurt, but don't you notice she might know something about herself? She just don't want to get out there because she don't want to get in trouble with God. Don't you know?
Well, wait a minute, Bishop. So, now that let me just read this too. Milton Brewer, it happened in Denton County, but a lot of people don't know that the black population is way larger in Denton. No all-white jury is possible in Denton. I'm from Fort Worth. I know, my brother.
Go over here.
Now, as this story is starting to unfold, Bishop.
Mom, my little boy, go.
This spring. What is it? Summer break. They up. What?
Yeah. Don't. Ask your mama. Get it to your mama. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it. Look, I know, mine's is grown. I remember them days. Lord, I'm so glad them jokers grown. But Bishop, as this case is over now, these folks is starting to run their mouth, because you remember, I don't know if you've heard, but there was a situation with the cheerleaders. But I'm sure there were situations with a lot of different people, because they've been saying that these boys were bullies. Well, the mom was recorded on TikTok. Listen to what she said, because there was a situation where they had been bullying and messing with the cheerleaders.
Anything about the cheerleader email? We kind of talked to Brandon about it a little bit. He didn't go into too much detail because of his, and he just said kids were disciplined. And that's
So the incident was that we had played Frisco Liberty that night and lost, and we should have beat them because they hadn't won a game in 3 years. So the whole football team was frustrated and upset, and Austin and Hunter were physically upset even at the game. They got in trouble from the coaches because Austin threw his helmet. Hunter was the one who's kind of more of he would get more upset about things. He went back out on the field and finished the game. Austin was I'm done. He was just, there was only 2 minutes left and he was just pissed. He was just in one of those moods. But after the game was over, him and Hunter and I know for sure one other kid who was an offensive lineman went to Cane's to eat. And I'm going to be honest with you, the cheerleaders, I loved the girls. I wasn't a fan of the coach because as a coach myself, I was a volleyball coach for a long time. You want to encourage your kids to encourage the other teams and all those kind of things. And I felt like our cheerleaders just
she did it as a cheer coach. She's a cheer
coach. What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the, they were just what's the point? This is, our team's trash, this kind of thing. And the girls apparently were talking about the game and making comments about how crappy our team was. And Hunter, more than likely said something nasty to one of them because that's how he approaches things. And Austin just, when everyone was like, man, I don't understand why you guys got to be like that. We're upset that we lost and this is how you're not even going to support us. So there was not a physical altercation. It was more of verbal of you guys are assholes for not, you're supposed to be Frisco Memorial supporters and you're acting like we're shit. Mm-hmm. And you're cheerleaders on top of that. So fast forward to the email that was sent. From what I understand, the coach had talked to Austin and Hunter about just what happened on the field the night before. And then the coach had sent the email, and Coach Jackson, who was our head football coach, actually told them, if you have a problem, you need to go to the police because it was off campus. And there was nothing he's going to do because it was off campus. So nothing came of it other than, yes, there was a talking to. And again, I go back to the original fact. Austin would never disrespect a girl per se. Hunter, he could have some choice words for someone who was going to be disrespecting him. I'm just going to be completely frank. That's just how he is. They were identical twins, but they were two completely different type of children. But the end result, nothing happened in that regard. And then I actually asked someone here recently, you know, how it got leaked or whatever, how the email had gotten out to all these people or whatever. And someone had mentioned more than likely it was a mom.
Wow.
Now, guys,
Why they wasn't brought up in court? Were they brought up in court?
They actually never brought that up in court. So that was never brought up in court.
That's crazy. And they didn't bring that in court. That lawyer wasn't a good lawyer. That's a strong.
But
It kind of bring energy to what kind of guy these guys are. I told you, I didn't even know that. I told you, I know how God work. I know how common law work. I know how God work. The Bible said, whatever man so is weak. I just know how God operates. And one thing I learned, that it had to been some hit somewhere. These boys, this ain't the first time that these boys done had a situation, because you got to remember who they went to go get to tell them to move, who was bold enough. So somewhere they have some history as a stand-up guys, or guy that will approach you or get in your face. And this is why I said that's pride. That's ego. These are things God hate a proud look. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. I know that they put up the picture, the world done saw two young guys, two little babies, little kid. It's the gameplay they put in your mind. And when you saw it, you're like, oh man, they was good football players, and you see that. And you hoping that the picture that they draw, this is who they was. But pictures is designed to control and manipulate what you want the people to perceive. But nobody never brought up this young lady said this, nothing was done about it. Nobody brought up, but the mother exposed it. I don't know, she thought it made it would have got out, so she had to speak on it. And so I don't know how it leaked out. Look how people talk. That lets you know that they got some pull in that county. That lets you know that they know somebody who connected to somebody, and I prove it. I'm gonna tell you how I know. It's because, watch it out, they couldn't get the case out of that county. They knew the boy wasn't gonna get no justice. They got him on the change immediately. Everything done. They got an all white, no black on the jury. Everything fell in their hand. Why? It's because in that city, in that county, y'all got to hear me. Regardless of what, nothing happened by accident. Maybe God wants that county to be exposed. We would have never known. Nobody would have never known the abuse. It's a cheerleader sent email. Nobody, because of the coach wouldn't. And watch this here. These people wouldn't know about Frisco and the way it is if this wouldn't happen. Nothing happened. The Bible said all things work together for the good of those that love God and called according to his purpose. It's a purpose that we hear. It's a purpose that people are going to have to stop being deceived by social media, stop by the news, stop letting people control you and think for yourself. Think, people, think. What's that? Stop calling this kid a murderer. Stop saying that. You know what a murder is. You don't even know what a murder is. That's one thing, the language I don't like. He's not a murderer. Anybody that say that is full of hate. Anybody that say that, he might have, we don't know if he killed him or not. But let's say he killed him. Let's use that word. Let's say he did. He didn't intend to. So stop calling him a murderer. We don't even have the fact what was thrown in that trash can. We don't know. Something they was trying to hide. What could it be? Think about it. After somebody just have a complication or a fight or something, why would you run to the trash can and put something out? Why now? You wasn't putting no trash in there. Oh, unless you had a bad dope, what they said, drug deal went bad. You know, what was in that hand that he had ran and put in the trash can? All I'm telling y'all, it make you wonder if he stuck him. You see what I'm saying? It makes you wonder, you know, did he have a knife? You know, so, but I don't like to speculate, but I am going to say this here to everybody that listens to this broadcast, please, to all the people that got influence. I'm talking about from the Muslim, Nation Islam. I'm talking about from the mega churches. I don't have no respect for y'all. Let me tell you why I don't have respect for y'all. You able to get on news when it benefits you, when it make you look good, but you don't lay your life down for the people. You're too quiet. You know a possibility, and some of y'all know what these black kids go through. Y'all know how it is in the hood. Some of y'all know how little boys, if they go to school, they got to deal with this and deal with that. Y'all know you got a lot of kids running around with guns instead of bowling knife. Come on, you got people really around, kids running around with guns. But here's the problem: none of y'all wouldn't come out. Just get your voice. Let the people hear your voice. People was hurt, broken by this. Let us hear your voice. We don't want no riot. We don't want no race riot. But where's you pastors and you leaders and Muslims? Where your voice at now? Oh, it ain't making you no money. Oh, it's not making you popular. Oh, you don't want nobody going against your church. The Bible said, be careful when all men think well of you. You don't want, because it's not about the people, it's about you. Anybody that stand up for the people and it can cause them harm, they are the real deal. But when you quiet, when you say, well, I'm just gonna leave, I'm gonna let the smoke, and I'm just gonna watch and see what happens. I don't like leaders like that. You're not for the people. Many of you got voices. I want to thank the pastor from Paula House. I want to thank the pastor Freddie Haynes. I love him. I thank God for him standing up for the people. I want to thank God for people like, I want to thank God for Jasmine Crockett. I want to thank God for people like that. Why? Because y'all trying to make it look like she don't care about the young man lying. No, she care about justice. She been in the system. She's a lawyer. She know the unfair. She know how the system works. You don't know. You only going by what you know. Some of you done has a silver spoon in your mouth. And so I want to thank God for everyone. And Charles White, I got to say this. I got to say this about Charles White. Please let me say this. I know Charles White. Charles White used to go to my church. I know his wife. I know his whole family. I know his son. I know when he was broke. I knew when he didn't have a dime. Charles White does not. I don't know how he got up on them people. And I'm pretty upset. I don't know if Dominique allowed him to get up. I don't know how he got up on them people. Them people's confused. All the time he gave them 75,000, he ain't gave them 75 cents. Listen here. He using that to make himself look good. You know why he turned on them? Because the daddy wouldn't mind him. He want to run something, and he think he right about everything. Let me tell y'all something. Charles White don't care nothing about nobody. All that he care about the kids. And he don't care about, most of these folks don't care about no kids. That's why I don't listen to these programs. They're doing it as a come up. They doing it for a bag. They don't care about your kids. And y'all starstruck. Listen, Charles White is a clown. Listen to me. I know him. I went in the restaurant with him. I watch him, and he ignorant. Let me tell you something. He's slow. I'm telling you, ignorant. He's not faking, y'all. He will, like people talking about, I'll do this. You're gonna have to do something to him because he's ignorant. I'm telling you, I know. I've been with him. I watch him disrespect his wife in front of us, and I say, I'm the pastor. My wife, she's very green. I got a PK wife, and she was about to cry, and she never saw nobody that's so disrespectful to their wife. Charles White don't care. So listen to me.
I didn't know nobody was dumb enough to marry him. I didn't know the man was married.
No, I don't want to put their business. Boy, Lord, I'm a pastor. I can't say it. But if you only knew the truth, listen to me. But let me say something to you. He was on the show talking about me on the show. He told a lady, I told him that if he give me more tithes, I'll talk to God to say they married. That was a big lie. If he allowed a pastor, he allowed anybody. I ain't never told him that. I told him that if y'all want y'all married to last, y'all got to fear God, obey the Bible, make sure you're paying your tithe because you can curse your marriage. I told him the truth. He took that and said, I asked for some money. I don't even get paid. I got my own business. I ain't never took a dime from the church. I never even got a salary. So anybody will tell you, I've been pastoring over 20 years. I don't even take salary. Nothing wrong with it. Pastor can get a salary. I'm fortunate I have my own business. Now watch this here. Here's the thing. He done got up here and he switched up on the family because his daddy, I talked to Carmelo daddy, and he said, well, Charles White, why he got upset? Because Charles White was trying to tell him what he need to do. If he get the money, we'll get this. The man don't know. The man trying to think for himself. He listened to everybody else. Now the man trying to say, hold up, maybe I put my son in this situation because I didn't stand up and make the decision for myself. I listened to everybody else. So that's the reason why. And the dad is not a cow. The daddy, when you going through this, your son, you know he ain't no murderer, and the world saying this and they saying that, you're gonna need some counseling. You're gonna need somebody to talk to you because you don't know what the mom and dad are going through. Ooh, you listen to them, they might be into it. You know, you let our baby, I told you, tell them what I don't think that they might have their own conversation. And he done made a decision off of what people said. And she said, I told you. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be the fight among the family. You got to understand. So, but a good family, y'all hear me. All of you liars saying them folk bought a house. The same judge and the same lie gonna come back on you and say they bought a car. Them people ain't did none of that. That brother was so, I talked to him. He said, Bishop, man, I can't get out no job. I got to provide for my family. But the judge told me I can't do this, do that. I said, man, I don't know what to tell you, but if we can do this or whatever I can do, I said, I don't know what to tell you. He said, but if we go out and I've been hearing this conversation for a whole year. And so he got to get out and make some money. And so all these people talking about they got all this money. Listen to these people. And some of these people that saying these stars and sunk money, I don't know who sunk no money. I ain't heard. I don't know. I ain't gonna even get the line. But to me, you ain't gonna know I'm finna say this here. They say they got a dream team. I don't like none of them. I know majority of all of them. You know what I think they need to do? I'm going to be honest. They can use them, but they need to get a lawyer where your money can buy. They need the best lawyer. Them lawyers are right, but they got some lawyers that don't play no game. They got a lawyer going to look at the least thing. They got some lawyers. They need to take some real money and get them real lawyers. I don't care if they white or black. Them lawyers, I know Russell. I know some that good. They okay. But I'm telling me, I know some lawyers that's bad. And they can come down here, they know certain things, and if they get them that money, don't just take a free, because lawyers would take, everybody want this case. They're going to make a name for themselves. Watch this here. They need to take that money. If somebody give them the money, get them one of them good lawyers. But you got to remember, Puff Daddy couldn't get off. And he a billionaire. When they want
it, though, the thing about this case is, Bishop, there is several steps. They're only in the the appeal stage. Once let's say they overturn it and they get to move forward, they got to get new attorneys. So the attorneys that's doing it now, they are, from what everybody have said, they are great attorneys.
I know them. Let me tell you this. They're great attorneys. Now listen to me. I know them. I ain't knocking. They're great attorneys. But hear me. I know them. I know them. I'm not saying Russell bad boy. The Spanish guy, but the other guy, they some bad boy. Listen to me. I'm not saying that. But they need somebody when they good for when they go to in a trial. They showed me Russell and that the little Spanish guy. I've seen them in trial. I've watched them in trial. They bad. But they can take the money that people say they giving. They got some lawyers. Girl, look at him. They don't miss a beat. They go back. They go as far as researching the judge, what the DA, who them connect. They'll put all of the puzzles together. This is why, the Bible said money answer all things. if they're going to get the money, use it for, don't make the mistake that we made the first time. We went and got a lawyer that's basic. You need to go get a killer up in there. Don't try to save no money. Don't try to do that. That's what they sending it for. Go. So yes, them lawyers had to step up because you only have a certain time to get the appeal across. But let me tell it to the people where people can get prepared for this. Appeal just don't happen overnight. I've been in prison. I pray to God somewhere they put his case on top. Somebody got some pulled or something. It don't happen like that, y'all. I keep hearing people say we be out in 30 days. When it be out, I promise you. Let God touch it and it turn around. If the people stand up, make enough noise. Let the people make enough noise. But if you're going to wait and through the prayer process, you're going to go through a process. Let the people come together. Black people come together. White people that believe this young man did not have a just trial, make enough noise, it might make a difference. But other than that, let's ride it out, y'all. I wish he can get out the mountain. Let's ride. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm telling you. And so I got to tell you the truth. It's not going to happen overnight. Listen, and I say this to this young lady. I got to thank you again. I got to be honest with you. I thank God. I pray that God will bless your show. I pray God because it takes time to do what you're doing. And I pray people will bless you because your heart is right. You taking a risk to focus on this, and you see some things that other people don't see. And I'm gonna say this to anybody that put their mouth on this young lady right here. I'm gonna say this to you. You take it to the bank.
Bishop, you know I don't care. I got thick skin. I laugh at
I know, but I'm finna tell them something. They put their mouth. I'm gonna tell them put their mouth on you. What if God using her for his glory? You're not speaking against her. You're speaking against the will of God. It takes somebody that's gonna have to take the lash and the cuts to stand up for what's right. If you're not willing to die for what you believe, man, stop believing in it. You're not even fit to live. Watch this here. And I thank you, and I'm telling you this here out of my heart. I thank you because I know this family personally. We done met and had talk. I've seen so much fear on this family. Some of these people, how about they getting threatened and they're saying that to try to get these folks really getting threatened.
Right.
I don't know how many threat Jeff really got, but you know, I never known black folks that's really anybody that's threatened.
We don't really
do that. We'll go do a drive-by.
We don't. That's right. That's what the white.
White people. Hey, guy, I'm gonna do that. That's what they do. Oh, so not all white people. I want to say I'm putting them in the category. They do it. Black folks, they do. You know, they. Anyway.
I heard that the Anthony family moved. Now, last I checked, it said at least they have moved at least 8 times.
Oh, more than that. They moved. They got. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. They were standing, walking in front. I don't know how it leaked out. They'll find out where they stay at, and people will come, and their kids be terrified. You know where they kept moving? They threatened to kill the babies. They threatened to get the babies. You think if they killed us and hung us back then, they didn't have no compassion? You don't think they'll fulfill or try to do that for real? Come on.
Yeah, and I'll never forget. I was on TikTok and they were going to these people's house, acting as if they deliver. You know how you order food when somebody show up at your door, you know you didn't order the food, but they were going to their house. I remember I saw this on TikTok where the people they were recording themselves going to their house.
Hey, you know what? I want to say this too, because I don't want people to get the wrong understanding, because people twist your words. I thank God for each one of those attorneys because they did it out of their heart. So they didn't have to, and they got a good team for appeal. I'm not saying they don't, but for a trial, I know a couple. I don't know all of them. I know they ready, but it ain't gonna hurt if somebody does something for real money. They get a lawyer that is the best. I want him. You know why he needs the best of the best? I'm gonna tell you why. Because too many wicked people got their hand in this case.
Yeah.
With authority. We need somebody able to find out who did this and that and how he ended up in prison the next day. We need to go through all that. It's something behind that. We need
talk
to
about that, Bishop. Talk about that, because I know I had spoke about that briefly. You don't, first of all, what is with this trial Saturday? Like, had trial on Saturday. Right after they found him guilty, he says, "Oh, we're moving to sentencing." The same day, then he go back to the jail. They done already shipped him off to prison.
As organized crime. Listen to me one more, God. Nobody gonna believe it. You can't get around it. Nowhere in history in Texas, nobody be moved that fast. I don't care what kind of case that was. Nobody able to make that call, but somebody that's a shot caller. Listen to me, please, y'all hear me. That's why I know the case ain't right. They put him in prison that quick. I can know you got guys been waiting on the chain way before he was. And y'all can't see if somebody got their hand in it. Then y'all want to say that the blacks is wrong. Yeah, I've seen some black folk acting a fool and doing this. They hurt. But y'all saying this is not a race thing. It is a race thing. Stop saying that. Should we respond with the race thing? No, but it is. The fact it is. Y'all stop saying that's what I don't like. I don't like when they say this not a race thing. Even Karmelo daddy was saying, Andrew was saying, I don't want to be a race thing. That's what I tell him. You ain't about what you want. It is. You're gonna see. Stop saying you don't want it. You might not be. Don't close your eyes to it, because soon you close your eyes to it. That's why we in the situation that we in, because everybody keep trying to say, oh, they fair. It was a fair trial and such. No. If you think like that, you can continue to get the same thing. Open your eyes, people. Open your eyes to this case. It's national. You think a case like this here and white folks is upset. You got some white people got some poor. And you got some white people got some money. You got some white people can make a call and say, hey, whatever you do, make this happen. You got some people can make that call. Watch it here. You ain't got too many black folks can make that call. You know why? Because they're not in position to make the call. Y'all better wake up. They don't have the power to do it. That's why it's important to vote. That's why it's important to do certain things, have certain people in office, because too many people ain't got that power to make the phone call. Don't say they don't do it. They do it all the time. If you my buddy and I know you and somebody gonna kill my son, I'm finna call my buddy and say, hey man, can you help me? Hey, I promise you, whatever we do, this kid ain't gonna get away with it. And when we find him guilty, I'm gonna put him on the chain the next day. Y'all better think. Y'all stop playing crazy. That's why
organized crime. That's why I say
organized crime. All of us organized crime. And y'all can look at it and say whatever you want to say. Y'all dumb. You're lame. You're ignorant. If you can't see through this, you don't need this. Ain't no mud or water. This clear. If you can't see through this, something wrong with you. Watch it here. Even if you felt like he did something wrong, it was wrong how they treated the case.
Yeah.
They didn't even give him opportunity to even be justly served. There's no opportunity here. Right. And this is why I say I'm so glad God got the last say so. I'm so glad that no matter what weapon, I say this here, form. God didn't say it wasn't going to be formed, but it ain't going to prosper. Excuse me, black people. Court attorney. He said Russell Wilson. I know Russell Wilson is a what?
Appellate attorney.
What that mean? I don't even act like I know
that. Russell Williams work on appeals. You know, like what he doing for?
Yeah, I see he do the Fed. I know him personally. Yeah, but I think that in appeal he can do real good. But if you got some money, they free. We can add 5 more. Use the money. Use the money. Yeah, we can add 5 more attorneys. They got 6. Let's bring 5 more. Everything.
Right.
If they gave you money, if somebody send you money, and somebody send y'all money to pay for that, even if they did it free, even if they doing it free or half, I don't know. You might need to give them some money, make them work a little harder, because they're going to have other cases where they can focus on this case, you know. So make sure he get represented. I'm not arguing against Wilson. What's the Spanish guy attorney on there? Do they have that? He's good.
I can't. I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
Oh, I can vouch for him. I watched him in a trial. I said, "Oh Lord!" I thought they were gonna find this boy guilty. They had him, his face and the way he walked and everything. He walked up out of there. They had him on camera.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, that Spanish guy. That Spanish guy they got on there. I don't know them other four. I'm not gonna vouch for them. That's why they had Wilson the top one, because he is a good appeal. But he's not just a good appeal lawyer. He's a good trial lawyer. That's who I wish they had when he went to court. I wish they had him. And I ain't gonna lie. And Andrew, his daddy, got the face up to this. I told him get Heath Harris. He did not do it. See, we've been battling. A lot of people don't even know the story behind it. I said, listen, man, please. I told him, I said, I will pay Heath. Get Heath on your trial. He said, well, so I don't know who you would listen to. I said, you're going to need Heath, because Heath know how young black men, he used to be a DA about it. Heath Harris know how black, he can tell a jury, he can tell them what they go through, what goes through their mind. He can let them know. Them white jury, they don't know how a black young man think. And Heath had that. I said, man, get Heath Harris. Whatever you do. I told him, I said, get him. You know his daddy they didn't get him. So
you know what they said though, the people that came to testify, for some reason I believe the judge wouldn't let them, because I believe it was supposed to be like a somebody psychologist or something, because I feel like, you know, Carmelo was 17. They needed to hear about how the brain develops. You know, at 17, you ain't thinking like a 30-year-old. You're not thinking like a 40-year-old. At 17,
come on. I was telling somebody I was canceled with somebody, and like that stupid, oh God, forgive me. I gotta ask for forgiveness. That guy named Smith, he on the sports. Y'all know he always talking a lot. He had a problem with LeBron James, whatever his name. He always doing all that talking. He was saying something, and why he didn't do this. And a 17-year-old don't think like that. When I got in trouble, I didn't see what I see today. You think with your pride and ego, y'all looking at a 17-year-old like he could make a quick, intelligent decision. Because if he could, and he knew that he can get in trouble, he might have left the tent immediately anyway. So all those things is important, that you allow the jury to hear the mindset. If you're not going to let him testify for himself, at least draw out what goes in a teenager's head. Right. When he have other peers and people, and let them know how they think. They don't think like that. They didn't have time enough to think logical, because they've been dealing with school. They just got here. They ain't been here that long. They never been in this situation. And so you don't think like that. And so people be thinking he was a bad kid, a tough kid. They said, why he didn't just leave? He's a kid. He thinking that this kid belittling him. There's so many reasons why he wouldn't leave. It's so many reasons. But here's the key. Here's the key to all of it. This would turn the whole situation. Why did Austin? Here's what I keep asking people. Nobody talk about it. And people, why he couldn't go get no authority if he's so good of a kid? Why he didn't go get a coach? I'm not gonna say why wasn't no grown folk during that, because nobody was looking for. Why he didn't go get a coach? Why did he go and try to force this young man to do something.
Huh? You know why? Because he was a bully.
Yes, to say it one more time. Let me ask you that question again. Maybe they didn't hear me. If Austin was here, I would say, Austin, if I can bring him back, I say, Austin, I hate that, you left the world too soon. You could have did a lot of things. You could have maybe been a great kid. But why did you put your hands on him? Why did you go and try to do it yourself? Why you didn't get a coach? Why didn't you use the opportunity to set an example for other kids? Why did you go up here and once you saw this kid wouldn't leave, why you kept pressuring him? Why you kept pressuring him till where you felt like you had to touch him? Why? Or grab him, fight him? Why? I would ask him that. What would it hurt for you to go and leave him alone? What would it hurt? Why you had to be, it was that serious to where you want, well, he might have said, well, he was talking about our team. He was mailing us. He was saying this, that we're losing, and he's saying all that. Okay. If that's the reason, watch this here, then you're not a good example as a leader. Why? Because you lost a game, but you didn't lose your integrity. You didn't lose your humility. You didn't lose your love. You're showing him he's more silly than you because what he's saying, it don't matter. That's why they got to teach these kids a loss really ain't a loss. Because when you lose, you win. Why? Because you're not caught up in your pride. You're not caught up in your ego. You're not caught up in you can't accept a loss. That teach you something. Because in life, you're not gonna win every game. The game of life. You're not gonna win every job. You're not gonna win every girl, every boy, every relationship. It's a learning in losing. And so, but I wish, and I say this, I wish they had a program. In Dallas, it's so much violence going on everywhere. I want a program that I don't need no money. I want to be able to go to school and talk to kids about situations before they get in it. I want to be able to, because I can identify. I've been that kid. I've been that kid at 17 years old, shot somebody out of same conflict, my ego and pride. I've been that kid. And so I want to be able to go to kids and show them the benefit of never let nobody take you out of your comfort zone. Never let nobody, I don't care what they do, never let nobody even play you off the streets, or play you in the grave. Watch it. I want to be able to talk to them before they get in trouble. We always try to fix something once they in it. Once they in it, they in it. How can we go to these schools and teach kids how to deal with bullets? How do we go and talk to these kids and tell them if you're in a situation where somebody trying to clown you, and use the example, let them practice in how do you deal with when 2 or 3 guys coming over here and doing this, or this guy talking about you or trying to get you involved in the game. Let's deal with this. But if you look at the program that we have, we got some so-called guys that supposed to help the neighborhood and say they was Crips and blood. None of them, woman of God, Lakeysha, I got to tell you the truth. I know all of them. Guess what they do after they talk to these kids? They go back and sell dope and get on Facebook, show they jeer. Them kids laughing at y'all because they giving money to these people that don't even care about these kids. Everybody using the system for their own benefit. I don't like it. Nobody doing it because they want to see lives change. You know what? And I say this, I think I would have never went to prison. And this is my testimony. I'm gonna tell you something. They gave me 40 years in prison. And I'm gonna share this. I grew up in an environment where my daddy left my mama with 6 kids. I was about 11. My mama sent my sister to the store, and we wondered where she was. She didn't come right back. My mama said, go to the store and see where this girl at. She may be trying to talk to a little boy. I find my sister in the attic raped. Somebody snatched her from the store and raped her, left her in the attic. I'm a little 11-year-old kid in South Dallas, got to pick her up and take her to the house. Do you know the mindset I was in as a kid? It caused me to hate my daddy. It caused me to feel like everybody was talking about us, bullying us as a kid. We wore the same clothes to school. We didn't have name brand school clothes. And so we went through all the system. Everybody picked on us. Every school we went to, somebody bullied us because we didn't look like the other kids. We wasn't acceptable. Watch this here. But when I was in prison, I didn't know my childhood affected me. I didn't know that. Caused me to get in the streets, caused me to rob, caused me to sell dope. And my mindset at that time, I just want to help my mama. I stopped my mama for committing suicide at a young age. My mama finna jump off a 3-story building because she couldn't deal with what we was going through. I told my mama as a kid, I said, Mama, we need you. Please don't hurt yourself. I promise I'll take care of you. My mom looked back, get out this room, stop being grown. I said, Mama, please. I was crying to her, and she got out the window. Watch this here. So in the process, all of my brothers, all 4 of us end up in prison. My sister ended up on crack cocaine, lost all her kids. Now watch this here. In prison, before they gave me time, when I sold dope, they showed me he's a criminal. He ain't gonna never change. Let's show Dallas. Let's give him this much time. A little crack, when crack first came out, they gave me 40 years. Watch this here. And when I was setting up in that cell, I had so much hate in me for my dad. I'm just telling you the truth, because my daddy wasn't there, and I wonder how I got here. But the way I came to God, woman of God, is unbelievable. My mama had 4-stage cancer. She had a few days to live. Hear me. My mother unplugged herself from the hospital bed, drove the Micah unit, visit me. This is what my mama did, and say, baby, I'm not going to be here when you come home, but I need you to do me one favor. And I said, what's that, Mama? She said, I want you to tell me you're going to get out of prison. I said, Mama, I got 40 years. She said, I know, baby, God can do anything. God showed me you're going to say. She said, promise, Mama, you're going to stop fighting, because I got caught up in the penitentiary world. And she said, promise, Mama, you're going to give your life to God. And at that age, I didn't know what that means. But my mama held my hand, and we did the Lord's Prayer. And I was not trying to cry, because I didn't want God to see me crying in prison. But let me tell you what happened to me that blessed my soul. I gave my life to God, and my mama died the next day. But I love God enough, because I thought, you know, when I give my life to God, He's supposed to come rescue me from her. He ain't supposed to take my mom. And I said, Mama, tell God if He don't take you, I'll live for Him. She said, baby, it don't work that way. And I was in that cell, and Lakeysha, I thought my life was over. Satan told me to take my life. You got nothing to live for. He tried to put a suicide spirit on me. And I got on my knees. I prayed. I said, Lord, that know my mama. I didn't know it by his name. I didn't know his name, Jehovah, Yahweh, Jesus. I didn't know nothing. I said, the God that know my mama, if you give me a peace of mind, I don't want to die in prison. And watch this here. I heard God's voice, and I like people be saying and all these fake prophets. I heard him inside. He said, choose this day who you gonna serve. And he said, I'll show you that I'm God. And I told this lady my story. I told her how I growed up, that we lived with everybody. We got set outside. We went through a lot coming up as a kid. I said, if you believe in Jesus, I wish I can find him. I said, if you give me another chance, I wrote Austin. I wrote her a letter. I said, if you give me a chance, when you get on your knees, you add Jesus, I'm for real. I said, I'll never come back, and I do throw away the key. Hear me, Lakeysha. God touched that lady. That lady wrote me back. And she said, I believe you. 6 months later, after I did all that time, she got me out of prison. Let me tell you something. And I believe in my heart, I don't care what nobody say. God can do the same thing for Karmelo. If he will really seek out the God, girl, ain't nothing that God can't do. Don't let them know. Ain't nobody can convince me. Because when I was in prison, I ain't know who was telling the truth. They said a white man wrote the Bible, King James went home. I ain't know who was telling the truth. I was running around talking about Hassalam, Lakeyshakeysha. I was not eating pork and all that, and it still didn't help me. But I got on my knees. And I said, God, please give me another chance. That's why I don't judge young men by what they did. If somebody would have told me and pulled me over and say, young man, why are you selling drugs? Why is you out here in the street? They never told me that. They just said, lock them up, get rid of them. But if they would have known I was that little boy that went home hungry, I was that little boy that walked out of if they would have known, I didn't have a father there. I didn't have a Christmas. The only thing they said, he did see that. They didn't know that I was fighting a war within myself. But if you don't pull people over and ask them why, if we continue to say they this, they that, ask them why. Just if they ask me why, I could have told them.
Right.
What you think went through my mind when I find my sister in the attic, a virgin raped by a man, and I had to carry her home? Don't you know the guilt that my mama lived with, thinking it's her fault? Nobody see those scars.
No.
So I had to learn to know God. I had to learn to have compassion. I had to learn how to love my daddy, because one day I was preaching, and I heard the Spirit of God says, you can't preach for me if you don't forgive your daddy. And he walked in my church. Out of all the time I've been preaching, he said, tell him you love him. And I was kept on trying to preach. He said, tell him you love him. And I told my daddy, I love him. He started crying. I hugged, but I was set free. The shackles that kept me bound, the mindset. And so when I tell people, I don't judge young people by what I ask them why. I ask them a question, what's going on in your head? Because nobody knows what's going on in your head. The reason why I learned how to fight, because I had to protect my brothers and sisters, because people was talking about us, chucking eggs as us. So we didn't know. And so when I tell people that the reason why I'm here, I'm not here for me. I don't have a life. I didn't have a child life. I never had a birthday party. I don't know what it's like, but I do have that I believe there's a God above everything. I think that even in this situation, I don't want to see blacks fighting against black and white. That ain't me. I ain't with that. I'm not taking this child side or anything, but I know truth. I know hate. I know prejudice. I know racism. I lived it. I stayed in prison all those years. I watched every race come against black. I watched it. I was there. All race. If anybody been in prison, they'll tell you I'm telling the truth. I watched the blacks, that the Spanish, Chinese, everybody would get together and fight against the blacks. Nobody teamed up with the blacks. We there by ourselves. And it's already bad as black on black crime. Why do the black people don't understand we are our worst enemy?
Right.
They don't see it. Why they don't see it? Why are you going against your sister? Even if you don't believe what she's saying, don't speak against her. Just don't say nothing. Don't tear her down, because none of us perfect. But I say this here. Why do you have compassion for this young man? He's alive. He could have made a mistake. I made that mistake, but that wasn't who they say I was.
Right.
I wasn't that drug dealer that's trying to tear up the neighborhood. I wasn't that drug dealer that's trying to do this. I was trying to get my mama out the hood. because I promised my mama I was going to get her out because I seen what she went through. I promised my mama I was going to get out. And the only thing that I knew is what I saw. I saw drug dealers, I saw pimps, I saw robbers, I saw hustlers. And that's the only role model that was in front of me. So I made the mistake that cost me these years of my life, but it changed me. And I say this to people who taking this situation and taking this kid and counting him out, counting him down, but God gonna count him in. You know why? Because God got the last say so. And as people, if we can come together and think it could have been you. And I don't want to, Lakeysha, and I ain't trying to mess up your show. I don't want to be like the average pastor no more. Right. I watch how they use God's people for their own glory. Right. I watch how they drive nice cars and live in nice house and use God's people for their own. I don't want to be like that. I want to be a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X. I want to be honest before God. I want to be one that mixed with truth, that lay their life down for people, not their character, not their weakness. I'm talking about willing to lay their life down for people. That's who I want to be. I want to be able to, you can look me in my face. I want to be able to stand before the Lord and he said, you did what I asked you to do. And so when I look at the church today, when I look at so many selfish people, I see them pastor, you know, because they got, nobody learned anything through COVID. And they still got the same clique. They still got the lying prophet coming through. They still got, everybody still utilizing them same crooks. But nobody reach out to somebody that can reach to help the young man that need to identify themselves in somebody they can believe. And this is what we don't have. We have a system that's controlled by flesh. And the Bible said the kingdom of God suffer violence and the violent how to take it by force. There's some things we can't just sit back and just look and paticate. We got to have a voice. We got to stand out because it can be your child. And every time I look back, when nobody gave me a chance, but that lady that believed me, I wish I can tell her thank you. I wish I can, I don't know how I can do it. I wish I can find that lady that signed that piece of paper that let me out of prison. I don't know if she's still living, but I want to tell her I appreciate her because I'm a different man. I have a family, I have a beautiful wife, I have beautiful kids. There's so much I'm doing in my community. I go into the prison, I go into the juvenile, I do it all. And I go into the streets, and that's my testimony. That's what I want to do. And I want us to forgive each other. And I forgive every white person and black person that spoke against this child without facts. I forgive you already because I know you don't know what you're doing. And I forgive everybody that won't revenge. That's not Christian. We have to forgive him, Jeff. Everybody got to be forgiven. That's just the way God wrote. And so that's what I want. I want justice. I want peace. I know it's more to what we think. And I believe that this case, I never seen a case that let on this long. You know, something have people going on with their life. But this case, it touched. It hurts. It hurts many people. It hurts. And if y'all look at it, look how these people talk. Look at how they talk. Look how Jeff talk. Let's be honest. Look at these people. Y'all listen to them. Them people not led by God. God is a mercy and meek. Them people ain't saved. Them people don't care. Some of them people hoping that boy something bad happened to him in prison. That's not God. It ain't right from the start. It ain't right now. And so all of you people that look at this guy as a murderer, you don't know the truth. The same devil that's a brother accusing that lied on me didn't know I wasn't who they say I was. I made a mistake. I was young. I was trying to get my mom out the hood. But if you've never been in the person's shoes, don't speak on them because you don't know. And so I say that out of love. I say that out of love. We got to learn to love people. And let's let's stick together, y'all. Let's find a way to help this young man. Please, don't let months pass by and we forget about this kid. Please, please. He gonna need us. He gonna need us. He gonna need our prayers. He gonna need our support. But I believe God is above everybody. And whoever that you think you are, and Jeff, this for you. You say, you can say whatever you want to say, Jeff. I'm gonna say this to you. I love you. I forgive you. We understand that you hurt. We understand it. But please don't let people put hate in your heart. Find a way to forgive this baby. Give him a chance. If you talk to this kid, Jeff, you never talk to him. If you talk to him yourself, you'll consider. I don't care how mean you is, how mad you is. You might think different. You might say, I didn't know this kid. Maybe my son, I know we believe our kids. Maybe my son did push this kid in this area. I don't know. But if you talk to him, it don't make sense if you hear his heart. Something ain't adding up.
Right.
All of y'all ain't gonna like me. All of y'all don't love me. All of y'all gonna feel not gonna agree with me. I understand that. But I'm not your enemy. You're not my enemy. And Lakeysha ain't your enemy. We just trying to get the truth out, and we trying to get a real investigation of this situation, and maybe God get the glory out of it. That's all we saying. This is a lot. This is a lot of weight on a lot of people. I had a lady call me, Lakeysha, a black lady, older lady, and she was just, she broke. She just was so hurt by this, and I didn't know she's not even from down. And she said something that got my attention. She said, people don't know what black people really been through. And I said, what you mean? She said, baby, if you knew some of the things that my kids went, my son, she said, she was telling me a story. She said, I watched my son go through something, and I couldn't do nothing to help him. She said, when I think about Carmelo, she called her son. She took me to. She said, my son Carmelo, she done adopted him. And she said, I lost my son through the system. She said, I wish I could do, what can I do to help him? I said, Mama, you got to start out in prayer and trust God. I said, no. She said, well, it's a way we can send some money. I said, I don't know. I don't know about to send me no money. I want they saying the preacher took the money. They'll say that. I said, I tried to ask her dad, how can we give him some money? And I think somebody said they sent some on his books. He don't have a whole lot of money on his book. Ain't nobody sent me no money when I was locked up. I broke all them years. But I said, Mama, you keep it in prayer. You pray for me too. She said, I will. And she said something. She said, Bishop, I saw you on the show. I just love you. I said, thank you. I love you too. And she said, thank you for helping my son. That tickled me. I said, wow. She said, thank you for helping my son. And and that touched me.
I think a lot of us feel like that. Because remember when I told you, I said, I have never met Carmelo or the family, but when I see his mannerisms, I said, I don't understand how any parent who's raising their kids or children or young adults to be respectable people would not feel like that.
Yeah, and when she said that, it touched me because, watch this here. When you're in prison, you feel like you're forgotten about. When you're in prison, Satan torments your mind. And people don't know what you go through when you're behind the cell, and they don't know what goes on in prison. A lot of people don't know. I watch people get killed. I watch also kill inmates, and they say an inmate done it. I've seen them do. I can't say what they do on this show, but if y'all only knew what I saw in prison, y'all worrying about being raped. it's just so much thing go on in prison. Officers was doing more crime than the inmate. Nobody know that. That's why they don't have cameras in prison. They need cameras in prison and see what the officers do to the inmates. We get out and don't protest against because we so glad to be out. But if y'all only knew the story that I almost lost my life twice in prison by officers. And so I remember they beat me up so bad till you couldn't identify who I was. My ears, my face, my lips was so swollen up. And they'll hide you. They won't let nobody let. And they beat me, try to knock all my teeth out my mouth. And so, but I made it. I survived it. I remember they put me in a cell. They have a cell they call the shelter, and they ain't supposed to put you now. I hope it's against the law. They've been having those cells for years, over 100 years, and they put me in it, and big wool rats be up in there. They put you in there with no clothes on. And I remember they put me in there for 48 hours. And I tried to trying to make sure I didn't go sleep because them rats are so big, girl. They tail long, they stand up, and they be like a bunch of them in there. And when they get ready to feed you food, when they get ready to feed you, the rats smell it, and they comes in. They not scared. And I just said, don't feed me. Take the food, because to make the rats come. And I'm sleeping on rat doo-doo and everything, the commode for the rat doo-doo. And, and so you got to remember, for 48 hours, I'm trying to, you stay in there longer than that, you might go crazy. But people don't know they do this to you. They don't know. And so I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be here. So when you see me, you don't know my story. When you see me, and that's why I'm not the average pastor. That's why I appreciate that where I'm at. That's why I'm serious about souls. People don't trust people anymore. It's because of so much that went on. But God got to break you to get you in this place. And I had to be breaking. I had to be broken in a place that got me where I'm at today. And that's why I'm serious about what I do. And that's what the vow I made with God. I said, God, if I don't make it to heaven, it's your fault, because I asked you to kill me while I'm saved. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to backslide. I want to see your face. And so that's my vow. And because I want to make it to heaven. And I believe that that's where I'm going if I live the life that pleases Christ. And so, but like I tell you, this is hurtful to a lot of people. This have caused a lot of people to be hurt. I know friends done got into it because of this situation. I'm talking about white and black friends. It done separate friendship because of this situation. But if we be honest with ourselves, we can see that injustice done took place. If we be honest with ourselves, we're not saying just say nothing happened, but we are saying why you think we really here and how we got here. And if you look at that, then you can say this happened, but I don't think he deserved this much. I don't think he should go through. You would look at it a little different. And some people at a point, and I agree, they don't think he shouldn't got no time. I felt like that too because of self-defense and because there was nothing intent. That's why some people are saying, they're not saying they don't care about person losing their life. They're looking at the intent, and there's no intent there. If the law says you got the no intent for you be found guilty, there's no knowing intent here. And if we stand up on the law, then we're not getting, Carmelo not getting justice because he felt like that he was defending himself. He made it clear. I told him not to touch me. Right. That alone, people say, oh, he wasn't really crying. He just, people that's out of hate. That alone letting you know, I wasn't looking for no trouble. I just told him don't put his hands on me. He put his hands on me.
Right.
Well, Bishop, we got one question here that I'm gonna bring up. We got a caller, and then we're gonna get up out of here. We've been on here for almost 3
Well, I was on the other day the same way for 3 hours, and I didn't know he had about 1,900. He had 19,000 people listen. I said, "What?" I wasn't trying to do that, but let's hear what they say.
Okay, Marie, thank you for coming up. What's your question?
Hey, I had a comment. My question was, I almost forgot because Bishop, I enjoy listening to Bishop. I mean, I really enjoy. He's so truthful and honest and humble. Now, we all know appeals take a long time because, you know, like he said, you have people in power, Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. You know, some of those judges were appointed a couple of years ago, and then we have some left over from the Reagan Bush administration. But my biggest question is, do you think we should start writing the governor of Texas to give Carmelo a pardon, since the governor of Texas went out of their way to grant Daniel Perry a pardon, and Daniel Perry intentionally murdered a protester? And, you know, the governor overrode the board of parole and requested the parole. And even though the prosecutor challenged it, you know, in the criminal appeal court, they just brushed it off 3 weeks later, like whatever, you know, and gave Daniel Perry a pardon. Well, you know, and Foster, the wife of the protester that was killed, you know, she's still trying to get recompense from this. They can't even get a good jury because it's been so tainted. So the next trial is set up for October this year. But do you think we should start writing for a pardon for Carmelo, since Carmelo has stand your ground, the same governor that said Texas has the strongest stand your ground laws in the entire nation, and Carmelo was standing his ground, and he was sitting down. That's a point. Oh, I forgot, Bishop. Yeah, that was a point I didn't think about. He never got up. He was sitting down the entire time. Since and another thing you brought up, Bishop, earlier, when you were talking to I think it's Freezy. Well, one thing you mentioned, because I'm paying attention to everything, you said he was on the bleacher under a tent. He wasn't even I said, nobody is thinking about these things. Why do we have to go out of our way to accommodate everybody and even try to go through the appeals process when we got a governor in your state that you can write letters to, since he's giving out pardons to people that intentionally ran over a protester? They found racist text messages on this man's phone and in his email about how he planned to run over and kill a Black Lives Matter protester. And he received a pardon, even though a jury gave him 25 years.
Okay, let me say this here. Watch this here.
I'm listening.
I said this from the start. I said, unless they get the government, he can get a map, or the president. But when you're looking at people, y'all got to remember this. When you're looking at people who's in authority, that's why it's very good, important to vote. That's why it's very good to have certain people in position.
I don't know, but I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I've been waiting, but I like when you say vote. I do like when you say that, but I actually voted for Trump, and I'm not happy about anything I see. So I'm an independent. I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican, but I did vote for him. And I remember in the 80s when Harris was the DA, and she was giving black men like 15, 20 years for a bag of weed. One of my, you know, I don't know about voting. I want to know, do you think we should start writing and petitioning this governor so we can get this young man out of jail?
Can I say this real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who you voted for? We're not knocking for what people care. Everybody say a whole lot of stuff about the president and this. And on thing, I don't like a lot of things that Trump did, but I like a whole lot of stuff that he did. He don't want two men together, and he don't want people in men's and women's bathroom. I totally agree. But I am gonna say this here. I think that if we can get the government to give him a pardon, it's gonna take black people making a lot of noise coming together. People.
Well, that's what we gotta do now. I just wanted to know your opinion.
Say this real quick. That's where we're gonna have to start at. If we want to see something, it got to be enough people that treat him like it's my child. Like the lady said, that's my son. If we come out with shirts that say "Free my son, Karmelo," if we just come out and make it known, put a hat, "Free my son, Karmelo," we can't stop. We can't let this be a fly-by day. We can't.
This is not what that is. This is not. I'm sorry.
This is what we're gonna have to do with everybody. And let me tell you something about that government now. That's in Texas. You got to think about who we asking. We got to ask God.
Not really. Not really, because I've worked with racists, and I know that I've worked with both sides, Sambos, racists, and what I've come to find out in all my 42 years of working, if you are straight up and clear with your intentions, there's no way we can be on odds, because hey, I know you don't like me, I don't like you, but this is what I need done. Are you going to be able to do it? And I find that to be the most effective way. It's better than people smiling in my face, playing games with me, and 3 months down the road, they stab me in the back and I got to go find out from somebody that don't like me. Oh, well, this is what happened. So I'm not playing those kind of games. What I'm saying to you is, we as a people and other people are allies of fair skin. We write letters and start petitioning and making, because that's how Daniel Perry got his pardon. Well, right-wing media got on the radio and started making noise, and that governor paid attention. That is how it started. Amen. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay, let's do it then. I'm with all that. Anything we can do.
My main question, before I get off, because I know somebody else might be waiting. Do you think he's still talking to that same girl? Because I have family in Killeen, Texas, and from what I understand, that girlfriend is friends or cousins with the guy that did a Judas on him in court, the little young guy Eddie. Do you still think Carmelo is in contact with her? Because that would be like sleeping with the enemy at this point.
Well, don't do me a favor. Please do this for me. Because we don't know the young lady. The young lady seems like a good young lady. You can't listen to everything. Let me say this. She can't be a blame for her cousin's action. She can't be a blame for her
Absolutely action. Not. There's got to be a line in the sand where you got to say, look here, this is your life. You got to put on communication, because these people cannot know what you are planning on doing, because they've already shown you who they are. See, that's what I'm saying. People get mad at me for voting for Trump. You show me, I give you chance after chance after chance. You're not gonna keep showing me who you are, and I'm just gonna keep taking it.
Okay.
So we keep it forward, but I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I love you, and I love you, Keisha, and y'all be blessed. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep on listening.
Amen. Okay, have a great day.
And y'all send her a blessing. Amen. Come on. Anybody else? That's it. There's a million times words in the community.
I don't know though. She said she voted for Trump, so I don't know. Like,
let me tell you something. Now, I ain't gonna. I'm not against. I didn't like now one of them really, but because I'm totally against that same-sex marriage. I'm telling you, I'm against that. People going in kids' bathroom and all that. Right. I'm against murder, killing kids. I'm against all that. And one thing I can say, God allowed him to be in that position. The Bible said no king can ride unless God allows. So I just got to respect and pray for him and ask God to change his heart or change him if he's doing anything that's against the word of God. But we got him there. They voted him. One thing we can do now is pray that God, that he don't do nothing that cause all of us to get in trouble.
Well, that's you, Bishop. I ain't praying for him.
But we gotta pray. That's what the Bible says. Pray for those that is in authority. So we gotta pray. Let's pray that God changes his heart.
He go home to see Jesus.
I ain't mad. I ain't gonna. Some of them people I couldn't vote for them. They got the devil in them. Some of these people doing too much. I'm just going. The church thing, they done made the church look bad. I'm just being, by me being a pastor, you got to know where I stand at. I can't stand these little boys don't know what they is at a young age. I can't. I don't let everybody be around my kid, my boy. But I come in there acting like they got some Kool-Aid on them. I'm gonna take all that Kool-Aid up off of them. But they can't have no Kool-Aid. I ain't with all that. You got pastors with boyfriends. Married and got a boyfriend. I ain't with all that.
Not married with a boyfriend.
I can't follow nobody. I can't follow nobody with sugar in their tank. I ain't doing it. And fall back on your kids gonna think it's okay. I can't have my kids around that stuff. These little girls got to watch it too, cause y'all worrying about the boys. You better be worrying about that old ain't. That's butcher. Yeah, you better get the truth. I don't want to hear the truth, but anyway. But that's how I feel, and I wish everybody the best. I wish we can find a way to try to make this stuff make some sense. I believe in my heart that if we do what we have to do, something, God can do anything. Amen. I just believe. I think that it's an eye awakening to everybody.
Now, Milton Brewer says, could there be a world where we can just create our own system? They did it with Tulsa. You remember the Tulsa? Could we need a movement like that?
He sounded like Malcolm X.
Right. He said it happened in Denton County, but a lot of people don't know that the black population is way larger and didn't know all. I think I read this one already. I read that one already.
Well, if you got to look at it though, the Bible said for us to love one another. I would be glad if I was a natural man, but because I'm spiritual, when you say for our own, Jesus said, who is your brother and sister? Who is my brother and sister? Not his kind, not because they are Jew or Hebrew. He said, those that do the will of my Father. And so I wouldn't want a all black neighborhood. I'm just saying I don't want to be in the all black people, all black. Because I got white friends, I got Chinese, I got other race, and I don't want to be that. I don't think we have to do that. I think we just need to be born again and love God for real. It's not the skin the problem. I think black people need to build something for themselves because they can build their character. I think they need their own bank. I think they got enough money to do a lot of things. Why? For that reason, is because I don't want a black kid to think that he's not nobody. He didn't build anything. He can't do nothing for himself. That for that reason. But for any other reason, I don't want to be involved in that. I'm sorry. I love everybody. I'm sorry. I love everybody. I love everybody except the devil. And so I love everybody. I don't love the devil. And so, but most people that's out there, I know why you saying that you want your own black neighborhood, own black, and let's get, because these white folk been doing us so bad, we just need to get away from it. I heard somebody say, go back where you came from. I ain't never been there. I'm from America. I'm from South Dallas Project.
Right.
Somebody say, go back where you came from.
Well, so where I live is diverse. I live in Georgia, but my area is very diverse. It's like 30, it's very diverse. So I'm with you on that. Well, Bishop, we don't have anybody else that's coming up.
Can I pray you out?
Yes, let's. Oh wait, okay. Milt Brewer, he played tonight. Okay. He said if the Indians can have their own system and discipline, their own, why can't we? We need our.
We can if some people want that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying I totally agree. Nothing wrong with that, But Indians is a small population, and you got to remember, they trying to keep their self, their culture alive, and some of them don't want integration with other race because they don't want to lose their inherit. They want to still look like Indians. But if the Indians start sleeping with the blacks and the white, they're gonna lose some of their bloodline, you know. So they kind of like want to stay in their long little group, you know.
And we're gonna have to pray because somebody just said I don't love everybody.
Well, you're not a Christian. The Bible said, "Pray for those that despite you." You don't love their sin, but you still gotta love. I know. But let me pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for being Jehovah God. We pray, Father, that even now, everyone that listens to this broadcast, God, that you will touch them in the way. But God, we believe that you're God above everything, God. Show yourself to be God, God. Throw your weight around, God. God, we pray for Karmelo, God. We pray that even in the cell that he in, God, that you give him a peace that passes all understanding. But God, I pray that you minister to him. Send that word, God, that would cause him to seek after your face like I did. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead. The same power that raised me from prison. The same power, God, raised him up, God. But God, let your will be done, God. God, let him understand, God, that you did not condemn him. You sent your son that he may have life and life more abundantly. And Father, we thank you for everything you're going to do, God. But in your word, you said, God, if God be for us, who can be against? And God, I pray for this young lady, God, that have this program, God, have this broadcast, God. God, bless her hand, God. Everything she need, God, meet her, God, in her need, God. God, but most of all, God, let her voice be heard, God, for people who need healing, people who need hope, people, God, that understand that you are God. And God, I pray for even Jeff Metcalf, God. Touch his heart, touch his wife, his ex-wife, touch his son. But most of all, God, if there's any hate, there's any unforgiveness, God, move it out of his heart, God. God, let him repent. Let him show himself what God is like. God, not let him listen to these churches that teaches us to be fleshy, that teaches us to walk in hate and think that's forgiveness, think that's okay with God. But God, touch him in the name of Jesus, God. God, you can do anything. Even if you take this situation, God, and cause the family to come together and show the world, God, that we can overcome anything. But God, most of all, God, I know they hurt. I know, God. But God, I pray for leaders that got voices. I pray that they will step out, God, not hide. Come from out the hiding, God, and stand before the people and bring peace in this situation. I thank you for every rapper, every artist, every anybody that's famous who done risked their lives, risked their career for this young man. God, bless him anyway, God. Don't give them the spirit of fear, God. I pray that, God, we will come together, God, for your glory. And God, some son right now, some son that's out there in the streets, God, touch him. Somebody in the hospital, God. I pray for some pastor that's trying to do right, God, and he don't even have the finance to keep his ministry going. Bless him, God. But God, raise up a people that is not going to sell you out, God. Raise up a fold, God, that will seek after you. And God, we pray. I thank you, God, for this opportunity. I pray for my family. I pray for my church. I even pray for myself. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for coming, Bishop. I appreciate you.
You know, you tickled me. You submit. You want to let people know. You want to let people know how they can reach me.
Oh yeah, I've been putting it in the chat, but I'm gonna show your you just got Instagram, right?
I got Instagram, Facebook.
Okay, so I got your Insta. Is it the same name?
My wife did that, but if they go to my Facebook page,
so here's Facebook, guys. I'm gonna also put it back in the chat. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Facebook. This is Instagram. I have Instagram, Bishop. You know what? I don't even. So I follow you on.
Yeah, that's my Instagram right there. That is. But I got a Facebook page with Bishop 𝐿I 𝐿𝐽𝐿. That is me. Oh Lord.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna put his Instagram in the chat. Now, Facebook. You know what? Let me go. Is it the same handle?
Bishop 𝐿I 𝐿𝐽𝐿.
Let me see if I can go. Give me a second. I'm about to go to Facebook real fast. I didn't. You know what? I'm not even following you on Facebook. I don't even know.
My wife sent that picture. Where you get that picture from? Cause I do not remember that picture.
So guys, he has the same handle on over there on Facebook, but I did put the link in the chat for his Instagram, ELI Jacobs 4410.
But yeah, follow me. They say follow me. I never asked somebody to follow me. Let me tell y'all follow me.
Right, and I got it right there. Yeah, follow him right there. I got it on the screen. And right there, I got it on the screen. ELI Jacobs 4410. So follow him over on Instagram and Facebook. I got to follow you on Facebook. I'm not even following you on Facebook.
Follow me, because I whoop the devil tail over there. And we don't play no game.
So you only have the Facebook and the Instagram. Just those two.
I have a TikTok. And
you
think I'm on TikTok. Yes. My wife them do. Now I don't know about this stuff because I've been in the jungle.
So how you be creating? So if you on TikTok, you gotta create content. You don't be using the app to create nothing on TikTok.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, you ain't gonna have no followers.
Somebody got to show me. But they reaching me everywhere. I don't know how. They be called. I have so many things tomorrow to do. Oh Lord, but I don't know how to do it. I guess I don't be focused on that, but people been getting on me and said, "Hey, Bishop, you need to do this. You need to do that." So we're gonna try to work on that.
Yep, it could be like a minute or something quick. But ELI Jacobs is at 4410, also on TikTok. Because see, I don't even follow you on TikTok. I didn't even know you were on there. I gotta go on TikTok.
And so if you see something on TikTok or anything, my wife put it on there because I don't know how to do it. And so I don't know how to do it on this computer. I don't do nothing there. I told her to do this. I was waiting on she. I said, you want to put this for me.
You got something on Instagram. You got a few pictures on there on Instagram. Well, it was nice talking to your first lady wife. She was very nice and helpful.
She's sweet. I got an angel. I got me an angel. I don't know how she ended up with me.
Getting them out there, so
yeah, I got me a good angel. My wife running for judge. She running for commission, and so we get excited. My wife is oh Lord, I don't know how I end up with her, but it's got two beautiful little boys from her.
Good.
And so,
well, like I said, I appreciate you. I'm about to get off here, Bishop. I know
I love you, and you keep on. I've been watching you. You doing a good job. You're doing an excellent job, girl. Don't you stop. You be getting some information. You didn't educate me.
You know what, Bishop? I got a whole email of other stuff that I haven't even had time to look at. So I probably
you almost should have been a lawyer, investigator, or something.
Yeah, I'm too cheap. I have my master's in leadership. I wanted to go to law school, but it was too expensive. I couldn't.
You two. They need you. You might need it. If you don't mind, what's your age?
I'm 51.
Girl, you 51.
Yeah, 51.
You don't look that old. Oh Lord.
Yeah, but I'm a.
That's 51. Why you smart. You got some experience.
Yeah.
Well, you keep on doing what you're doing, and we do appreciate you. Keep going, because you make people think. When you say what you think, you making people like, okay, you done changed a lot of folks' mind to see reality. But if we kept on, I'm glad you're not small-minded, believe everything that come across the news, and not intimidated.
I did. I think what kind of changed me from believing what was on the news is when I would start researching stuff, and I would be like, why are they lying? Like, do they really know that this isn't true? And then it made me realize that the narrative of the news follow whoever they support. If they support you, they'll, otherwise if they don't,
That's right. They don't hear the other side. Do you even give people a chance up to try to weigh it out themselves? Right. They already got their mind made up. And so that's good. And I want to thank everybody just for the love. And thank you for, I see some of the people. I know we're going to get some mean people. Everybody going to like us. But thank you. But you can't do nothing about me loving Jesus. And you can't do nothing about me loving you. So you might not agree with me. That's okay. Everybody in my church don't agree with me. I done had deacons and ministers them buck me, so I still gotta love them too. And so everybody ain't gonna agree. But follow my ministry and pray for me.
I don't know if you know how to read it, but somebody sent you a private chat. You probably don't know how to read it. It says, Bishop, do you know you really made a difference tonight? You probably didn't know how to read it, but it's like a little private message. Oh. I just read it for you.
I don't know. All I know, I love God, and I pray that this will bring us to a place where black people love white people and white people love black people, and be honest and be fair with all men. Right. And that's what I want. That's what I want. I wish Jeff can get on here and do some stuff right, but right now there's a lot of bitterness, a lot of hurt. But that lady, that Kelly lady, I'm praying for her. I don't know who she is. She just really mean, very mean lady. And that other lady, I don't know these people's name. They're so mean, and they're running off and what happened. Because a person found guilty don't mean he's guilty. Let me say that to people. Because you found guilty don't make you guilty. Think for yourself. I was in prison with a lot of people didn't do what they went to prison for. Right. So stop saying if he wasn't justice was served, and stop saying he broke the law. The law found him guilty.
Here's the deal, Bishop. If Diddy wasn't rich, he would be in prison because he had enough money to pay to get those large part of those charges dismissed.
Who you say?
So you know, Diddy, although he's in prison, he beat the larger charges. Mm-hmm. If that man didn't have money, he wouldn't have.
Oh, they would have hit him. They would have hit him. If he didn't have no money, they would have. They would have. They would have.
How many lawyers? About 6, 7 lawyers.
Yeah, and so if he didn't have, but he had some bad boys, you know, and but I don't know how strong his case was either against him, because I got to be honest. When it come down to money, this gonna make you laugh. I'm gonna say he raped me too.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I feel. A lot of those.
That's what people would do when it come down to money. He got billions. They gonna say, "Put something in my drink too." I was there. I didn't know what happened. You know, right. People do anything for money. If they kill people for money, they do anything. And that was an easy come up, you know. And so everybody, when you got money, you got enemies. So be careful, because we don't know. All I can say, people that was going to the party, they go to the party because they didn't know what was going on. Y'all got to stop playing that. When you go to the party, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. Yeah, stop playing. So don't put all the blame on him. Y'all know Diddy was freaking, but I preached a sermon on Diddy. I said, I'm Diddy because we all did it. We all did something wrong. So look at your neighbor and say, are you Diddy? You know, so I preach a sermon on that, because we all done did something. And so, but definitely, I think he gonna come to know God too in that situation, because I seen him praying. God gotta wait, because sometimes we can think we got so much money, we're bigger than God, and God know how to bring us to a place to where we say, God, here I go. And I say this, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, even with 𝐸 Keddie is the same Christian song, but at the time he was trying to go there, and God was trying to reach him then, but he went back into the world and got back in his old way. And sometimes God had to bring you to a place to where he can get your attention to save your soul. Your soul is more important than fame. Your soul is more important than anything. Only thing I don't like about in Diddy case, and I say this, I don't like these other brothers that come out and trying to say he this and that, and you're no different. I'm just being honest. I didn't like how 50 Cent was doing him like that. The Bible says you see your brother in fault, pick them up, lift him up, and help him. You know, don't just try to, you know, put him down and scratch him out. I think that God gonna use Diddy. He gonna see things different. I really believe that. I believe if they live to come out of this situation, God gonna really do something with them, because they was very important. And I forgive everybody. So everybody gonna like that. I forgive you. I don't care what you did. I have to. Yeah. You know, it's a soul, and so everybody that got, you know, hate the young man. He's a soul. You know, he growed up into a society where they do that. They party, smoke. You know, I seen girls when I was in the streets. I seen women would do anything to get into a party, to get around and ball.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, they sure will.
Get around and ball. So don't let them fool you and tell me they didn't know what was going on.
That's why
that man ain't got to rape nobody. And I'm just saying that when you got money, I ain't have near the money he had. When you got money, you ain't got to rape nobody. No,
when
money answer all things. The Bible said money answer all things. So I'm gonna tell you, people would do some things for some money, some strange things. They do some strange thing for a little change. Women would do some strange thing.
That was my thing. I said, you know what? I know what women would do for money. I said, so I got to see the evidence. I said, because
I got to see the evidence. I know what people do. I've been there. But people in reality, then they lied on TDJ, talking about TDJ was there. They just lied. TDJ ain't gonna put himself in a situation where everybody can see him and when he can go do it. They lied on him. That AI is something else. And so for people, they love bad news. They'll lie on you. They'll twist it up. But you better be careful because it could be you one day. So you better watch the stuff you spread. You better be careful. But anyway, love you.
All right.
Anytime you need me, call me. I got you, girl.
All right. See you later. Thanks for coming. Bye. All right, guys. Milton Brewer 4590. Good night, fam. This was great. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know it's way past my bedtime. I will see y'all later. Make sure you follow Bishop Eli on his platforms. You guys have his handles, and I'll catch y'all in another video.
Yeah. Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Clear, spilling tea, no fear, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lives right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. Hey, I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Make sure you subscribe to the Lakeysha Keysha.